Chapter 1. As we walk toward the bar, I can't help but think, this place used to be a strip club. Now it's a fancy nightclub where only the most remarkable people in New York get in, and somehow Sophia and I are here tonight. I'm not sure how we got in, but it has something to do with Sophia. She's tall, almost 6 feet, and looks like a model. She's from a small town, but you wouldn't know it by how she looks. Tonight, she's wearing a sparkly dress and super tall heels. She fits right in, acting like a big city girl. I can tell everyone is looking at her. The men stare at her like they want her, and the women look at her like they want to be her. I heard this place was a strip club before, Sophia says, agreeing with my thoughts. We just met today. Sophia is my new roommate at Wilton University. We both transferred here. She's from a small town, and I took a different path, finishing some schoolwork online while traveling. We're both new in the city, and she suggested we go to Rogue, the hottest club in New York. She told me she couldn't wait to be a true New Yorker. She's already acting like one, and I swear she even tried to say, "Pass the water bottle, Daling," earlier. I look at her sideways, wondering what she's hiding behind that perfect appearance. I know how it feels to want to change who you are, but I do it by constantly moving around. Sophia, though, seems like she's trying to become a completely different person. It's a little scary to watch. But like a fancy one, Sophia adds. I laugh. A fancy strip club? Do those even exist? I always thought strip clubs were gross, but now, looking around, I can almost imagine Rogue as one, though calling it that feels strange. Dancers are hanging from big bird cages above, dressed in black dresses. I bet back in the day they didn't wear much at all. The cages are black, have beautiful designs, and are made of glass so that we can see inside. I hope the dancers wear underwear, but I don't look too closely. The club has a dark, extraordinary look, like something from a mysterious movie. It feels like I shouldn't be here, but I'm lucky I am. The lights are low and the floors shine black. There's a big, fancy chandelier above. The walls are matte black, and fancy red curtains hang for privacy at some tables. Above us, there's a VIP area with a balcony, but no one is up there. If there's such a thing as a fancy strip club, Sebastian Black probably owns it, a guy says, walking up to us as we reach the bar. Sophia looks him over. He's good-looking but not my type. I like tall, dark, and handsome, and he's above average height with light blonde hair. He's wearing fancy clothes like everyone else, but doesn't stand out much. I turn to Sophia and whisper, "He's yours." I can tell from her grin she's interested. On our way here, she told me she loves boys. She warned me that if she started acting crazy, I should ignore it. I told her I could handle it. I watch as Sophia talks to the guy, and he gets nervous. I'm not surprised. Sophia is stunning, and he's probably not used to getting this much attention. She tells him her name and mine, then asks, "Who's Sebastian Black?" The guy, Noah, looks scared. He owns the club. His voice trails off, and he glances at the VIP area like he fears something. I look at the VIP area, too. 2 guards are standing at the stairs. They're dressed in suits with earpieces like in the movies. Their eyes are constantly moving, making sure everything is safe. I hear them speaking in Italian. There are more guards around the club, standing by the walls with arms crossed, all serious and alert. It feels like a lot of security for a club, almost too much. Then, a tall woman walks up the stairs. She's gorgeous, but Sophia looks even more impressive. I watch her with interest, and then a man follows her. He's breathtaking, with sharp features and cold blue eyes. I can't look away, even though his stare is intense and almost too much. He looks at me for a moment, his eyes scanning me from head to toe, and for a second, I think I saw something in his eyes. Maybe it was desire, but it was gone quickly. Perhaps I imagined it. I try to look away, but can't. He's tall and well-built, and his suit fits him perfectly. I watch him pass by the guards and glance at me again before heading up the stairs. I turn to Sophia, who elbows me and laughs. "What were you thinking about just now?" I shrug. "Nothing." "Just worried about classes tomorrow." I lie. "Everyone else has been here longer. It's a little intimidating." "But I'm not worried about that. I can handle the classes. I don't want to talk about the guy with the blue eyes." Something about him feels private, like it's just for me to know. Sophia doesn't notice. She scoffs. I've seen your schedule. You're in classes with names I can't even say. I nod. I'm studying bioinformatics and genomics, a tricky subject. Sophia is in business, which is impressive too. She told me Wilton University is one of the best business places. Getting in is hard, and she made it. Let's dance, Sophia says, pulling me toward the floor. I can barely hear you anyway. I shake my head. I'll go to the bathroom and maybe find someone cute to dance with. Sophia nods and heads off with Noah. I watch them, and it's clear she's in her element. She looks confident and happy. I smile. I like Sophia. She's quirky, but in a good way. We're going to be great roommates and friends. She's already fitting in perfectly, and it's nice to see her enjoying herself. Watching them, I realize that I'll always be me, no matter where I go. Chapter 2. Can I step outside for a minute and come back in? I ask the man standing by what a side exit is. I've been dancing in the club for almost an hour straight, and my feet hurt. I need some fresh air. He looks me over, scanning me from head to toe with a judgmental stare. It's the same look the bouncer gave Sophia and me earlier. It's like he's trying to decide whether we're allowed to be here. Finally, he nods. Knock 3 times when you want to come back in. Once I step outside, the cold New York air feels like a relief. It's quieter out here, but I can still hear the music from the club. What was once soothing now gives me a headache, and I need air. I lean against the brick wall of the building and look around. I'm in an alley, but it feels more like an outdoor room. No way in or out except the door I came from. Tall, black brick walls surround the alley, each with Rogue's logo spray-painted in white. It's strange to be in an alley that doesn't feel like one. I feel safer here, though, as New York City alleys at night aren't always the best places to be alone. Suddenly, the door beside me opens. Just a minute more, I promise, I say, thinking it's the bouncer. But it's not. It's him. Blue eyes. He's watching me with a smirk, much different from his earlier cold look. I think it'll take longer than a minute. My breath catches at his words and how his eyes linger on me. I feel drawn to him. Without thinking, I step closer, wanting to be near and touch him, but I stop myself. I shake my head, trying to clear my thoughts. It's not love, it's just a strong attraction, and I know that I need to get control of it. But this man followed me into the alley. I don't know him, and I don't trust him. I glare at him. Did you follow me out here? Yes, he answers without hesitation. If you don't want me here, I'll leave. No questions asked. His honesty makes me wonder if he's being truthful. If he is, I feel better knowing he respects boundaries. The truth is, though, I don't mind him being here. I want him here. I like everything he's promising with his eyes. So, I test him. I don't want you here, I say, trying to see if he'll leave. He nods and walks over to the door, knocking 3 times. I watch, relieved. He was honest, and now I know I can enjoy this night without worrying about my safety. The door opens and I almost speak again, but then I stop myself. I want him. It could be instinct or something else, but I already know that being with him will be intense. He looks like someone who takes what he wants. And right now, that's me. Tomorrow? Who knows? But for tonight, that's all I want. Blue Eyes turns back to me, his approval clear in his eyes. You were testing me, he says, his voice low. I nod. I was. He steps closer. And if I hadn't passed? I pull him closer, my finger hooked in his belt loop. Then we'd still be in the same place, but I'd be lying to myself if I told you I didn't want this. He leans in, placing his hands on the wall beside my head, trapping me between his body and the wall. And now? I approach him, brushing my foot against his ankle before moving it up his leg. I pull him closer, pressing myself against him. I don't have to lie. I want this. Before I even knew it, his lips were on mine. His kiss is intense, deep, and full of desire. I kiss him back eagerly, savoring the taste and the heat building between us. Everything I've wanted, I can feel it now in his kiss and the way his body presses into mine. He moves his lips down to my neck, kissing and biting, sending sparks of pleasure through me. His hands are on me now, and I lose myself in the feeling. His slow and deliberate touch sends waves of heat through my body. I want more. I want all of it. But then, just as everything starts to feel like it's building to something intense, he suddenly stops. "Can it wait?" he asks, his voice sharp. I'm taken aback and confused. What? Can what wait? I look down, following his gaze. My heart sinks when I realize he's looking at me, but not at me, at the space below my waist. I quickly adjust myself, pulling my dress down and covering up. I'm suddenly aware of how exposed I was just a moment ago. His eyes remain on the space where I stood, but I step away, feeling the tension build. Then he speaks into an earpiece, his tone businesslike. "I'll be there in a minute." He straightens up, looking professional again as he knocks on the door 3 times. It opens, and he walks back into the club, leaving me standing there, my heart racing and my body still craving the attention I thought I'd get tonight. No goodbyes, no apologies, just him leaving, and me standing there, wondering what just happened. Chapter 3. It takes me a few moments to calm down and stop feeling angry. Seriously, who does that? Couldn't he have waited just 30 more seconds? I was so close. I'm still upset when I realize how messy I look. My hair is all over the place, my face is red, and I smell like I almost had sex. I must go to the bathroom to fix myself before I find Sophia and leave this awful place. One thing's for sure, I'm never coming back to Rogue. I could meet Blue Eyes in 100 years, and it would still be too soon. I know for sure that's where he's headed, too. There's a special place for men who leave women hanging like that. I knocked on the door 3 times. When it opens, I'm met with the guard's smirk. He seems amused. "Great," I mutter. "Just great." I stomp off toward the bathroom, trying to calm myself down. Deep breaths. In. Outside. In. Outside, I keep repeating it until I'm not about to lose it. Walking toward the bathroom, I pass a man with the blonde woman from earlier. They're too busy arguing to notice me, and I don't want to get involved. I keep my head down, trying to avoid drawing attention. It's just what I learned in foster care. Keep quiet, keep your head down, and don't get in trouble. Even though it's been 2 years since I left the system, that training still sticks with me. As I pass, I get a good look at the man. He's enormous, dressed in black, and has tattoos that cover his body. He looks intimidating. It gives me chills. I hurry into the bathroom, eager to escape the scene. When I'm done fixing myself, I notice the argument outside is getting louder. I want to sneak out, but the two are right by the bathroom door now, so there's no way to leave without them noticing me, and my gut tells me that I really shouldn't draw attention right now. Suddenly, I hear a loud thud, followed by a sharp cry. I freeze, my heart racing. I open the door just a little and peek outside. The man now has a gun in one hand and is holding the woman by the neck. He's pressing her against the wall. If he wasn't carrying a weapon, I might think it was something else, but no, he's trying to intimidate her. And honestly, it's working on me, too. My mouth falls open. They're in a public place and no one seems to care. People are walking by without looking, and the security guards don't notice. This guy has a gun, and no one is doing anything. I back away from the door, thinking about what to do. I could go out and help her, but he has a gun. I'm not trained to handle something like that. And the security guards? They're not an option either. I can't get close to him. Then I remember my phone. I can call the police. It's the best option, so I quickly pull out my phone and dial 911, hoping I can get help fast. 911, what's your emergency? A calm, deep voice answers. I hesitate, not sure how to explain. I've never called 911 before. I'm in the bathroom at a club, and there's a guy out here with a gun. He's choking a girl. What should I do? Stay calm, ma'am, the operator replies. Is the club crowded? Yes, I say, trying not to sound frustrated. Of course it's crowded. It's Friday night in a busy city. What club are you at? Rogue. There's a pause, and I hear the operator take a breath. And there's a man with a gun? Yes, I reply. I start to feel uneasy. Is he asking if? Are you sure you want to report this? He asks. My jaw drops. Seriously? I can't believe he's asking that. I've made a mistake. What if I just interrupted something else? This may be a weird situation I don't understand. The woman seemed calm now, even though she was just in danger. She rolls her eyes, crosses her arms, and seems more annoyed than scared. Yes, Sebastian, she says. Can we move on now? Sebastian? That's the guy with the gun, the same name Noah mentioned earlier. This guy owns the club. It all clicks. This is probably a business deal, not what I thought. I feel like a fool for calling the cops. I might have just ruined everything. Sebastian's guard whispers something to him, and Sebastian turns to the others with an icy expression. Who called the cops? He asks. Nobody answers, and Sebastian quickly orders everyone to leave the area. He looks frustrated, but it's hidden beneath a mask of control. The group leaves, and I'm left alone in the bathroom, relieved it's over. Chapter 4. I take a few moments before stepping out of the restroom. The music stopped when I returned to the club's central area. I scan the room for Sophia. There are several officers inside now, moving people out of the club. Some faces in the crowd show confusion, but most seem oddly excited, even though their night is being cut short by the police. It's strange, but I can't dwell on it for long when a pair of hands suddenly grab me. I jump, already on edge from the earlier incident. Relax! It's just me, Sophia laughs, tossing her head back. We've been looking everywhere for you. The cops are here, Emma. How exciting is that? Noah, standing behind her, nods. We should leave. We don't want to get caught in the middle of things. Caught in the middle of what? His words hit me as odd, just like everything else tonight. I cross my arms and stand my ground when he tries to push Sophia and me toward the door. What do you mean by that? Caught in the middle? I can't help the accusatory tone in my voice. Noah sighs and glances at the door, debating whether to leave us behind. Don't even think about it. Is it just New Yorkers, or are all men this rude? He turns back to me, giving me a look that says he can't believe I don't get it. This is the rogue, he says, as if that explains everything. I stare at him blankly. And? Sophia looks back and forth between us, her red lips pulling into a frown. And it's run by the Mafia, Noah continues, another sigh escaping him. I pause. The Mafia? Then it hits me. The Romano family, Noah adds, like it's nothing. Oh no. The Romano family. Even though I grew up on the other side of the country and have been away for years, I know exactly who they are. One of the 5 prominent American crime families. They control the Northeast and parts of Canada. They're powerful, and the idea that this club is theirs is terrifying. Could the hallway incident be connected to the Mafia? At that moment, I realized I'd messed up. There's no going back now. I've interfered with mob business. All I can do is hope no one saw me or cared enough to come after me. I remember Sebastian's angry face. A chill runs down my spine. I need to get out of here. Fast! And pray that no one figures out I called the cops on the Romano family. The Romano family. Oh my God. Now it all makes sense. The guards. Sebastian's money. The pat-down. The gun. The people ignored what was happening. Bastian. The 911 operator. The cops are here now. I glance at the door, feeling like it's my only escape. All right, let's go. On the outside, I'm playing it cool as Noah leads Sophia and me through the crowd and toward the exit. But inside, I'm a mess. My mind is running through all the ways this could end badly for me, like a movie I can't stop watching. I'm mentally preparing for the worst, but no one would miss me. I have nothing valuable to leave behind. I grew up in foster care in California, bouncing from home to home until I aged out and volunteered abroad. No one knows I'm in New York except for Sophia, whom I just met today, and the school records. The Mafia could erase me without anyone noticing. That's a depressing thought. When we reached the door, I'd convinced myself nobody saw me in the hallway. Bastian and the girl were too busy arguing to notice me. But as we exit the club, I see a row of police cars parked outside. I swear under my breath, causing Sophia to look at me puzzled. I barely notice. My frustration is with the operator who lied to me. That jerk told me one patrol car was coming, not 8. I can't believe I didn't realize sooner, seeing all the officers inside the club ushering people out. I want to disappear before the Romano family finds out I'm why those 8 cop cars showed up. They won't let this slide. There are only 2 officers outside, though. The rest are still inside handling things. One officer is talking to Sebastian, leaning casually against a cruiser, looking almost bored. If I hadn't seen how angry he was when he found out the cops were called, I would think he was unbothered. A crowd has gathered around Sebastian and the officers. Some people are even filming it. Sophia pulls Noah and me to a stop, her eyes glued to Sebastian with a look of pure fascination. I frown. Can't she see that he's trouble? But even I can't deny that his Mafia connections only make him more magnetic. There's no ignoring the pull he has. Wait a second. I've hooked up with a mobster. I watch as one officer's hand hovers near his gun. Sebastian notices immediately, straightening up, a taunting expression crossing his face. I tense, preparing for a confrontation, but it never comes. The officer's radio crackles with a report about 2 suspects fleeing the back of the club. I recall what Sebastian told Bastian about the back exit, and I know instantly it's them. Sebastian's posture stiffens, his muscles tense, though his expression stays neutral. I wonder if anyone else notices, but the officers rush to the back, taking most of the crowd. If we stay much longer, it'll be just Sebastian and us. And that's not something I want to stick around for. I gently nudge Sophia and Noah forward. We're practically running now. What's your problem? Sophia asks, still staring at Sebastian with awe in her eyes. Nothing. The Mafia, I mumble, pushing them faster until we're far enough away from Rogue. Sophia rolls her eyes. Relax, Emma. They don't even know we're here. Her face lights up. But oh my gosh, did you see that? That was amazing. I love New York. She sighs dreamily. Best night ever. Noah rolls his eyes and orders an Uber for us. I'm too out of it to pay attention as they exchange numbers before he heads off in his cab. The car pulls up, and I'm ushered inside. Sophia and I sit quietly in the back, the driver closing the door behind us. Relax, she says again. But I can't. Even when we get back to the dorms and I'm tucked into bed, I can't. As I try to close my eyes, I notice my hands are bleeding from where I clenched my fists so tightly, my nails digging into my palms, leaving deep grooves. I don't sleep that night. The following day passes without incident. I go to class, but I'm struggling to stay focused. I should be thrilled about starting at Wilton, the best school in the country, especially after all the hard work it took to get here. But all I can think about is the fear that I might not live long enough to finish my studies. The day after that goes by quietly as well. I'm still alive, which feels like a miracle after getting involved with the Romano family. Nothing unusual happens. I attended my classes as usual and got an interview offer from the campus coffee shop, which I'd applied to before moving to New York. The following day feels normal too. I attend class, do well in the interview, and land the job. Days go by and the anxiety slowly fades. The fear of death lessens, but I can't forget what happened. The memories, everything from the night with the mob to the police call, linger in the back of my mind. Still, I try to move on, and a small part of me wonders if the Romano family has genuinely decided to leave me alone. But I know better than to believe that. Chapter 5. A month has passed since the incident, and I'm getting ready to leave work at the coffee shop. I quickly shove my green apron into my locker and throw my leather backpack over my shoulder. I splurged on it with my first paycheck and a new iPhone to replace the old one I lost during the hallway incident. I've even downloaded Tinder, though I haven't set up an account yet. When I do, I already know one thing for sure. I'm swiping left on anyone who seems even remotely like a mobster. As I leave the break room, I don't pay attention and bump into someone, spilling coffee all over myself. Luckily, it's iced coffee, not hot. I curse under my breath. "Watch where you're going," a voice snaps. I recognize the voice immediately. It's Minka Reynolds, who lives in my hall. She and Sophia have been at odds since the start of the school year, so by default, I'm her enemy too. I'm getting tired of it. Every time I walk by her or her friends, they make snide comments about my clothes, my hair, anything they can pick on. I've been ignoring it, hoping it would stop, but it hasn't. It's only gotten worse. I looked up at Minka and she bumped into me on purpose. Her smirk says it all. She's daring me to do something about it. But I don't. I sigh and head back to the break room, wishing I hadn't started ignoring her taunts. I feel stuck now. If I speak up, it'll only make things worse. So I act like I don't care. I dump the rest of the coffee into the sink and throw the empty cup away. Looking in the break room mirror, I see the coffee has soaked into my hoodie. It's ruined, but I can afford to buy a new one now. Knowing there's no saving, I take it off and throw it in the tree. I'm left standing in just a silky camisole and skinny jeans. The camisole isn't something I'm proud of. It's part of a pajama set my old foster dad bought me. He's a creep, and I know why he bought it, but I didn't have many clothes then. I kept it, though. I've grown to like it, even though it's probably not the best choice. I rush out of the coffee shop still in my pajamas, hoping to make it to Dr. Rowland's lecture on time. There's no time to change, so I throw on my hoodie from yesterday. I have to get to class early if I want a good seat. Dr. Rowland can be a mess, and I'd prefer to avoid sitting in the spleen zone where he tends to spit while he talks. I leave through the back door, trying to avoid Minka. It's probably cowardly, but after calling the cops on the mob, I've learned to avoid confrontations. I glimpse myself in a window on my way out and groan. I look exhausted, and it's no wonder. The last month has been a roller coaster. Miraculously, I make it to class just in time. Most of the good seats are already taken, so I sit in the front row, right in the spleen zone. Great! I settle in and brace myself for the lecture. Then, someone sits next to me. I turn to see who it is, only to be met with familiar blue eyes. Sebastian Black. My heart skips a beat. Panic surges through me. Is he here to finish what he started? Did he follow me here to hurt me? He must sense my fear because his face changes from serious to amused. He raises an eyebrow and asks, "Am I that scary?" I nod, too terrified to do anything else. His eyes darkened, the icy blue turning to navy, and for a moment I could see the danger in them. I was here to... His gaze shifts around the room, looking for someone, and then he lowers his voice. "Take care of you." I can't help but shiver. I turn away from him, trying not to let the terror show on my face. His words are chilling. I know what take care of really means. It's code for something much worse. Sebastian leans closer, his voice lowering further. "You'd better calm down, Emma. You're drawing attention to us." I freeze. He knows my name. I try to hold it together. Why shouldn't I scream?" I stutter, struggling to keep my composure. Give me one reason not to." His glare silences me. "Don't even think about it. I can track you anywhere, and next time I won't be so nice." I believe him. I know he's powerful enough to follow me wherever I go. His name appears in many places, and his business empire is vast. But the most terrifying part? He's not just a successful businessman. There are rumors that he's connected to the mob. The media's obsessed with him, and most people in class probably know exactly who he is. It's a big lecture hall, but it's hard to ignore someone like Sebastian Black. The classroom falls into a quiet buzz when people realize he's here. A girl sits beside him, but he doesn't glance her way. He's still watching me, and it makes my stomach churn. Minka's friend, Nella, takes a seat next to me. I roll my eyes. She's probably here to cause trouble. "Why are you sitting here, Nella?" "You don't even like me." Her eyes widen, and she's taken aback. "It's Nella," she corrects me, then glances at Sebastian. "I was going to ask him if you were bothering him." I roll my eyes again. "Bulletin. You saw me sitting here first. You probably thought it was funny, but then when he sat down, you thought you'd make your move." Her face reddens with anger, but I don't care. I'm not here for her games. I grab my bag and stand up to leave. I need to get away from Sebastian, but before I can take another step, his arm is around my shoulders, pulling me back into my seat. I tense up. His touch feels like a warning. I try to shrug it off, but his grip tightens, sending a shiver through me. He leans into my ear, whispering, "You didn't think it would be that easy, did you?" The fear and confusion mix in my chest, and I realize with horror that I'm not sure what to do next. My heart is pounding, and I can't decide whether to be afraid or angry, maybe both. But I know one thing for sure. This isn't over. Chapter 6. When everyone else gets up, the girls sitting in the front row stay behind, their eyes moving from Sebastian to me. Nella stays by my side, waiting until Sebastian stands up, puts my backpack on his shoulder, and grabs my hand. We stand up and walk out of the classroom, and a bunch of girls follow us, including Nella. I didn't expect to be happy that Nella was here with me, but I was. It means someone is watching. But then I hear high-pitched giggles, and Sebastian gives the girls behind us a scary look. They quickly scatter, faster than I thought possible, even in their high heels. So much for my witnesses. Sebastian and I leave, holding hands. Part of me wonders if this is what it's like to be in a relationship, with two people walking together, holding hands. But we're not a couple, and I'm trying hard not to look too fragile on the outside. I don't want Sebastian to know how much I'm struggling. And I look silly in my shirt, which is more like lingerie than actual clothes. At least my jeans cover my legs. Sebastian, though, looks perfect in his fancy suit, like he belongs in another world, with that dangerous look in his eyes. So, no, we don't look like a normal couple at all. I feel sad, realizing I might never experience a real relationship. I need to find a way to protect myself. There's so much I want to do with my life, and if I die now, I'll never get the chance. I decide it's worth stalling things a little. I've got another class to attend, I tell Sebastian. I'm surprised when he nods but doesn't grasp my hand. Instead, he looks at me like he's waiting for me to lead. So I sighed and started walking toward Sproul Hall, where my next class on statistics and genetics is. This class is smaller, with fewer than 10 people, and I wonder how things will go when I walk in with Sebastian beside me. I think about my few choices. I know Sebastian won't leave me alone anytime soon, so whatever I do, I must do it under his watch. I can't trust anyone here enough to pass any help me looks. And if I told someone about my situation, they probably wouldn't believe me or be able to help. That would worsen things, and Sebastian would have more reason to hate me. So I decide to wait for a better chance to escape. Part of me feels like I shouldn't even try to escape. My mind gets distracted by a silly thought, but I push it aside. There's too much going on to let it take over. My more reasonable side knows that whatever happens, it can't be worse than what I'm going through now. If Sebastian wanted me dead, I would already be gone. I don't want to run away, mainly because getting a degree from Wilton is vital for my future. I can't let that go. I can't go to the police either. I've seen enough movies and read enough stories to know that the people around Sebastian probably have the police in their pockets. I wouldn't know who to trust, and going to them would be too risky. I also don't have anyone besides Sophia, who would probably tell me to go along with Sebastian. And that's the last thing I need. Inside, I push my thoughts away. I need to focus not on Sebastian, but on getting through this. I'm shocked when Dr. Lance greets Sebastian warmly when we get to class. Dr. Lance is an older woman with white hair and sharp eyes, but she looks at Sebastian like he's the most critical person in the room. It makes me wonder if she's really that smart. "Sebastian! What a surprise!" she says. She notices our hands together and looks at us curiously. "Are you here to catch up on your stats? This class is for science majors, not business ones." I read somewhere that Sebastian completed a 6-year joint degree in business and science in just 3 years. Now, I believe it. Dr. Lance teaches advanced statistics in many fields, including business. If Sebastian has a degree from Wilton's business school, he must have crossed paths with her before. "Can I sit in?" Sebastian asks. He sounds calm and almost friendly, but his face still shows no emotion. "Of course." "You can sit anywhere you like, Doctor," Lance says. I quickly pull my hand away from Sebastian's, knowing Dr. Lance is watching us too closely. I briefly thought about signaling her to call the police, but I knew they wouldn't make it in time. Dr. Lance is too old to challenge Sebastian, and no one would be able to. His body looks like a weapon, scarier than a loaded gun. and I would know since I've seen both. Sebastian looks at me with a warning glare as we walk to our seats. The desks are small, and the attached plastic chairs have tiny wooden surfaces. The other students are already sitting, staring at us. I don't know if it's because Sebastian is intimidating or I brought him to class. I sit at an empty desk, hoping Sebastian won't sit beside me. But of course he does. He glares at the guy sitting next to me, and the poor guy quickly moves to a different seat. Sebastian pulls my desk closer to his so it touches his and puts his arm around me. I don't react. I'm still too shocked. Sebastian just moved my desk and made me sit close to him with one hand. It's scary how strong he is, and I know I can't get away from him. The class goes on, but I'm not paying attention. I'm surprised when Dr. Lance asks questions, and Sebastian answers them perfectly. He's not just giving simple answers. He explains things better than anyone else, even better than Dr. Lance. The boys in the class are impressed, and they admire him. I hate it. I'm the only girl in the class, which isn't surprising since more boys take STEM classes, especially in my field. It's lonely, but there's nothing I can do about it. After a while, the boys stop being afraid of Sebastian and start paying more attention to his answers. They don't seem to care who he is as long as he's helping them with their grades. I can see it in their eyes. They worship him, which makes me mad. When class ends, one of the guys has the nerve to ask Sebastian a question. Sebastian answers him like a pro. I'm shocked. Who is this guy? Sebastian turns to me. Are we going to talk or sit through another class you won't pay attention to? I sigh, realizing he knows what I'm thinking. Talk? You want to talk? I thought you were here to take care of me. He finally pulls his arm away and grabs my hand. We stand up, and my backpack somehow ends up on his shoulder. I was, he says, but not anymore. Not anymore? I repeat, shocked. And why not? Let's go somewhere private, he says, and I notice we have everyone's attention. Even Dr. Lance is watching. They might not know who Sebastian is, but they can't ignore the drama. We leave the classroom, and Sebastian pulls me into a building I didn't know existed. We step into an elevator, and it starts going down. The doors open into a big basement lab, and it's fantastic. I've never seen anything like it at Wilton. Sebastian doesn't explain how he knows about this place, and I don't ask. I'm too busy looking around, trying to figure out how to escape. There are no apparent exits. The only one I could use is too risky. I thought you were a spy, Sebastian says suddenly. A spy? I laugh. For who? You called the cops from a burner phone, he explains. I wasn't sure what to think, but now I do. You're not connected to the Mafia. You're just different. I stare at him, confused. So, you think I'm not a threat? He shrugs, not answering. Then, he pulled my phone out of my bag and entered something. Seconds later, his phone rings. He puts it back in my bag and says, You've got my number now, and I have yours. And then, just like that, he's gone. I stand there, still in shock. I owe him a favor now. How did this happen? Chapter 7. Sebastian isn't just a gangster. He's a fixer. Sophia says that's really cool. She told me that when she entered our room, she started talking immediately. She jumped on my bed since her side of the room was always messy and could never find a seat. I just finished telling her everything that happened, from the night we went to Rogue to the secret lab on campus. But I didn't tell her about the part with Sebastian. So, let me get this straight, she said, lying on my bed in her pajamas. He held your hand to walk you to class? That is so sweet. No, it wasn't, I said, crossing my arms. He only held my hand to make sure I couldn't run away. That's not cute. I didn't mention the romance books I read, where it's okay to be kidnapped by a handsome guy. I've enjoyed stories like that, where a guy is mean to a girl, but they fall in love. But that's all pretend. Did it happen in real life? Not so much, and it was scary. No way. It wasn't like that, Sophia said, shaking her head. You can't hold hands with someone that cute and not like it. I frowned. He's in the Mafia, I said again. I've said this so many times, but it's essential. It's hard to understand what's happening. That's even cooler, Sophia said, clapping her hands like a fan. He's like a real-life action hero, but hotter than the actor from The Matrix. I frowned more. Except that guy in The Matrix is actually a good person. And did you see him in The Replacements? He was great. She waved her hand, looking frustrated. You're going off track. Sebastian is way hotter. I rolled my eyes. She was right. He was good-looking, but I wasn't sure he was a good person. He threatened me. Isn't that a problem? And it wasn't just him being rough. It was his cleverness. He was always watching and planning, which made him dangerous. He didn't just use muscle. He used his brain. And that made him even scarier. I'm serious, Sophia said, sitting up. You've got a chance with one of the most attractive guys around. You should go for it. Chance? I laughed. He's a criminal, Sophia, and I'm not dating him. Whatever, but he's so hot, she said. I didn't even know how to respond. No, he's dangerous. She sighed. You're making this too hard. You're already so close to him. Go to him. Wear that dress you have, the one I love, and get him to see you. You'll be a great match. I laughed, throwing candy at her. I think if I went for that, I'd get shot by another family or poisoned. She didn't seem to care. You're so dramatic. Sebastian's the hottest guy and you're crazy to let him go. I sighed again. He's dangerous, and I don't want just a good-looking guy. I want someone who cares about me. Yeah, right, Sophia said, not getting it. She reached into her bag and tossed me a dress. Here, wear this and stop worrying so much. I looked at the dress. It was my favorite little black dress, making me feel confident and unique. It had always been in my closet, waiting for the right time. Sophia thought tonight was the night. I changed into it because I knew Sophia wouldn't stop. She argued until I gave up. Besides, sometimes I want to forget my worries and have fun. A night out might help, even if for a little while. When I was ready, I didn't wear much makeup, just a little mascara. I tossed on the lip balm Sophia had handed me and was prepared to go. Sophia, as usual, had already finished getting dressed. She wore a flyby dress and red lipstick ready for the night. We put on our heels, called an Uber, and went out, but I wasn't sure if I was making a mistake. I had no idea what the night would bring, but I knew I had to face the fear Sebastian had created for me. Chapter 8. A deep sigh escapes me as the rogue sign comes into view, my stomach sinking with unease. Sophia, I really don't like you right now. Good to know. You're the worst. Well, you're the one who's going to get us inside, thanks to your new friends. And it's true. Or it's just how we look tonight. Either way, the bouncer gives us a quick once-over and waves Sophia and me in, ignoring the long line of people waiting outside. We're quickly met by a friendly bottle service girl who leads us straight to the VIP section, and I realize that this treatment is clearly about more than just our appearance. The first time we came to Rogue, we stood in line for hours, our feet aching in our ridiculous heels. Now we're breezed straight from the Uber into the club and escorted directly to the VIP area. It's like we're royalty. The only thing missing is a limousine. I can only guess that Sebastian Black has something to do with this. The VIP area is stunning. White-tinted glass walls line the room, with bright lights behind them. Through the tinted glass, I spot the figures of dancers, 5 on each side, their elegant movements resulting from professional training. We can see them, but they have no idea we're watching. It feels almost like a one-way mirror. In front of us is a long, narrow table stretched out in front of a plush velvet booth. The booth is a deep red, centered against the wall, and sitting right in the middle of it is Sebastian. His expression shows no surprise at our arrival, his face as unreadable as ever. Sophia tugs at my hand, pulling me over to him. I almost lose my balance in these stupid high heels. As I get closer, I take in the details. Sebastian's suit is dark navy this time, and the fabric clings to his legs as he sits. Even though it's a little inappropriate, I can't help but notice how well his thighs fill out the pants. As much as Sophia can be over the top, she's not wrong here. Okay, maybe my horny Emma side is a little out of control. I glance over my shoulder, considering whether I should dance and find someone else tonight. It's bad enough I'm now referring to my wild side in the third person. 2 years. That's how long it's been since I've had any intimacy. I went from a near daily fling to absolute nothing. Somehow it feels like a lifetime. It's not the type of record I want to hold. Sebastian glances up as we approach. Well, well, what brings you two here tonight? He's grinning, a little too smug for my taste. I quickly averted my eyes and sat beside him, wishing the ground would swallow me. Sophia, ever the bold one, answers for me. Emma here could really use a little action. I feel my face burn with embarrassment. Did she seriously say that out loud? I'm ready to strangle her. Is she trying to get me to commit homicide? Her ridiculous fantasies about me and Sebastian are about to ruin my life, one awkward moment at a time. I send Sophia a deadly glare, hoping that the longer I stare at her, the more likely I will forget that she just told Sebastian all my dirty secrets. Sebastian laughs, but it's not the same laughter from someone who genuinely finds this funny. It's too controlled, too calculated. I wonder what he's up to. His blue eyes lock onto mine. I think I can help with that, he says, suggesting something suggestive in his tone. Wait, what do I think he's talking about? The words come out so teasingly, flirtatiously, that I'm caught off guard. Sophia even gasps beside me. I turn toward him, barely able to suppress my shock. What? I whisper, but it's loud enough for him to hear. His gaze flickers with amusement as he continues. The club is packed tonight, plenty of suitable options down below. If you want, you can bring one of them up here for more privacy. Oh, I didn't expect that at all. I narrow my eyes at him. This feels like a game, a way for him to test me. He wants me to sit here, to pine for him like I have no other options. Well, I'm not going to play along. I stand up, resolved to harden. Okay, I'll do just that. I walk toward the stairs, but halfway down, I can't help but glance back at him. But he's not even looking at me. Instead, he's on his phone, frowning slightly at the screen. Sophia, too, isn't paying attention to me. She's too busy ogling his, lower half. The traitor. Sighing, I head down the staircase and scan the dance floor. I'm looking for someone, anyone. But honestly, after seeing Sebastian, nobody else seems interesting. I settle on a guy, a decent-looking guy, but much shorter than me and with a smell I'm not thrilled about. I'm only dancing with him because he's positioned perfectly in a spot with a view of the VIP stairs. I tell myself it's for Sophia's safety, that I need to ensure she's okay with Sebastian. That's what a good friend would do, right? But then Sophia comes down the stairs, and the blonde from before appears beside Sebastian. She's angry, and that somehow puts me at ease. I'm still stuck in my weird headspace, though, as Smelly Guy keeps trying to get closer to me, his stinky cologne assaulting my senses. I keep watching the stairs, waiting for some kind of signal. Finally, I can breathe easily when the blonde leaves and Sophia comes down. I shake off the lingering discomfort and make my way toward her. He kicked me out, Sophia says with a grin. Some girl came up to him and he just kicked me out. She was glaring at me the whole time. I think she was jealous. I can't help but feel a little jealous myself, though I'd never admit it out loud. We dance together for a while, the music taking over, and I forget everything else until I feel a pair of strong hands wrap around my waist from behind. Sophia's eyes widen as she turns toward me. She's noticed. I know it's Sebastian before he even touches me. I can feel his presence, like a magnetic pull. I must be crazy. His body presses against mine, his lips brushing my ear. Relax. I shiver at the sensation but remain silent. He starts moving with me, the rhythm hypnotic. Just act normal. It's hard to act normal with someone like him, who makes my body react in ways I can't control. He wants me to be calm while every inch of me is on fire. There's no normal here, not when I can feel his abs pressing against my back, their complex outline undeniable. This is an audition, he continues, tightening his hold on my waist. I'll see Seb in my favor soon, but if you don't pass the audition, you'll wish you'd said yes to what I'm about to ask. I think about it. An audition? His words make me uneasy. What could he want from me? Is this just a dance? or something else? After thinking it over, I decided that whatever he asked would likely be more straightforward than whatever he demanded of me later. As much as he scares me, Sebastian has yet to lie, and I don't think he's going to start now. I nod, leaning back so he can hear me. What do you want me to do? For now? Just dance with me like you would any other guy. It's easier said than done, though, because he's not just any guy, he's someone I want. Someone who both thrills and terrifies me, and I'm unsure how long I can keep pretending he's just another guy. But I do. I pretend. Chapter 9. I try to step back from Sebastian, but he won't let me. His gaze meets mine, and I feel uncomfortable, so I try again to step away. This time, he lets me, but he grabs my hand. It's not so bad. It's easier than being close to him. When he pulls me toward the stairs, I go along, but not before giving Sophia a helpless look. She looks surprised, but shrugs it off with a playful eye roll. At the bottom of the stairs, I dig my heels into the ground, trying to stop us from moving. Sebastian sighs in irritation, then turns to look at me, but I'm not focused on his face. I'm looking at a small mark on his thigh, one I didn't expect to see. He notices where I'm looking, and with a smirk, he wipes it off with his finger. Then, to my surprise, he touches his finger to his lips. We'll take care of that later, he says with a hint of mischief before pulling me up the stairs. When we get up there, just play it cool. Follow my lead. I nod, feeling a mixture of shock and confusion. My dress is tight, and the absence of specific layers makes me uncomfortable in a way I didn't expect. At the top of the stairs, we join a group of well-dressed men, the same group Sebastian was talking to earlier. They look powerful and meaningful. Sebastian hasn't introduced me yet, so I awkwardly wave and say, "Hi, I'm Emma. Before I can finish, Sebastian cuts me off with a confident, "My fiancé." The room goes quiet, and I feel a mix of surprise and disbelief. One of the men, who had been eyeing me earlier, sneers and asks, "Your fiancé, huh? That's convenient." Sebastian waves our joined hands, showing them off like proof. I almost lose grip on his hand from how sweaty it's getting, but he tightens it, making me feel even more uncomfortable. The man raises an eyebrow and then points to my left hand. "Where's the ring?" In response, I quickly play along, giving Sebastian a teasing look. "Sebastian, you were supposed to keep our engagement a secret, remember?" I make a light-hearted jab at his chest, then lean in, lowering my voice. He wasn't going to announce it until after I graduated. I didn't want a big fuss at Wilton. I raise my left hand, showing my bare fingers, and sigh dramatically. I guess the surprise is ruined now. One of the other men comments, "Wilton, huh? That's impressive." Sebastian smiles approvingly, giving my hand a quick squeeze, and I feel a little relieved. I know I'm playing this well. A few moments later, after everyone has said their goodbyes, Sebastian signals to a guard. The guard pulls out a security device and starts waving it around the room. It seems like they're looking for something. A bug, maybe? The thought of someone trying to spy on us makes me tense, but Sebastian squeezes my shoulder reassuringly. I try not to focus on that. I still feel his grip on me as he continues to guide me away. "You're good at lying," he says with amusement. "If I didn't know better, I might wonder if you're hiding something." He pauses, "But I know that's not the case." I shrug. I grew up learning how to lie. It's a survival skill, I admit quietly. Sebastian nods, understanding but saying nothing more. Later, he suggested I stay at his place. At first, I refused, but he reminded me I owed him a favor. I reluctantly agree. He shares more about his past dealings as we drive to his home. He's not part of the Mafia in terms of how people think. He was just a business consultant. It all sounds so complicated, and I can barely keep up. He talks about his need for a fake fiancé to help with business matters, and I understand I've been chosen for this role. He tells me the deal. He'll cover some of my living expenses if I move in with him. The offer sounds tempting, but I'm still not sure about everything. As the conversation continues, Sebastian makes his offer more evident. Move in with him and save money, and in return, I'll have his help with school and a potential job in the future. It's a tempting deal that I know I can't ignore, even though I'm still unsure about everything. Chapter 10. Sebastian's garage has lots of cars. Not all of them are his, especially since some look identical. He walks past the cars and takes me to an elevator in his private garage. The elevator goes all the way up to the top floor. Instead of music, the news is playing in the elevator. It's a rerun of a Mad Money episode from yesterday. The host is talking about Black Enterprise possibly buying Illumina, a company I know well from my classes at Wilton. I look at Sebastian and raise my eyebrow, asking without words if he knows anything about it. He smiles and says, "I can't say anything about that." I grin and tease, "Not even to your fiancé?" His smile fades. He looks serious and says, "Hey, no second thoughts, okay?" I nod but still feel confused when the elevator doors open. We walk down a hallway and stop at a door. Sebastian opens it, and I can't help but stare. The penthouse is enormous. The kitchen is shiny and modern with all the best equipment. The whole place has an open design so I can see the kitchen, living room, and dining area together. It makes everything feel even more significant. I can't believe how much space there is, especially in New York City. The whole place is bulletproof and soundproof. Every room has a panic button. Sebastian points to the one in the kitchen, hidden in a cabinet. "If you press it, my guards will come." Seeing my surprised face, he adds, "It's just a safety thing." No one from the families would come after me. It's really for protection against corporate spying now. I nod, but I can barely take it all in. The words espionage, bullet, and panic scare me, and the house is so big it's hard to process. Sebastian leads me upstairs to a bedroom more significant than any room I've ever seen. It's more important than my entire dorm room. I ask, "Is this the guest room for me?" Sebastian shakes his head. "This is my room, the master." I'm amazed by how huge it is. The bedroom has a sitting area and a giant bed in the middle. The bed is huge, covered in black sheets with a red blanket at the end. The floor is dark wood, and there is an oversized walk-in closet and a massive bathroom with no door. I ask, "Can you show me to my room?" Sebastian opens his arms as if this is the only room. I frown. "You're giving me the master?" "We're sharing the master." "No way," I say, shaking my head. Sebastian shrugs. "You could always take the couch." "I'm helping you out. I'm not taking the couch. I'll take the bed." He shrugs again. "Go for it." I nod, satisfied. I go into the closet to get ready for bed. It's enormous, more significant than my dorm room, and looks like a high-end store. I grab a soft shirt, then head to the bathroom, ignoring Sebastian as he walks by me, getting out of his suit. The bathroom is just as fancy as the rest of the place. It has marble floors and sleek black cabinets, a toilet in a separate room, an oversized shower with benches, and a jetted bathtub. I use the toilet, then sew my hands and face. I found a new toothbrush and am using it. When I look for clean underwear, I remember my underwear got ruined on the dance floor. I make a face. Gross. I throw the underwear in the hamper and set my phone on the counter. I text Sophia, telling her I'm safe. "Emma, at Sebastian's place, safe and sound. Be safe tonight. See you soon." I turn off my phone before she can reply. I don't know what I'm allowed to say about tonight. I still haven't signed any non-disclosure agreement. After my shower, I have no choice but to wear Sebastian's soft t-shirt. It feels weird because I'm not wearing a bra or panties. It feels strange, especially with Sebastian nearby. I feel my cheeks turn red. When I go back into the bedroom, Sebastian is already in bed. He's only wearing boxer briefs. I quickly look away and say, "I thought I was taking the bed." Sebastian looks at me but doesn't seem bothered. "No one is stopping you." I try to make a joke. "But—" "Don't worry about it. This is my house. I'm not sleeping on the couch." I look around at the giant penthouse. This place is huge. It's gotta be like 10,000 square feet. "It's 20. My jaw drops. 20,000 square feet and you don't even have a guest room? "It's only a 10-bedroom house," he says, counting on his fingers. "One's the master, one's my office, one's a library, one's an armory, one's a shooting range, one's a theater room, one's a security room, and the rest are a gym." I can't believe it. He has a shooting range, an armory, a gym, a theater, a library, a security room, and an office in his apartment. It's wild. He says, "You can sleep anywhere you want, but the bed and the couch are the best choices." I groan. I don't want to sleep on the couch. With a big sigh, I climb into the bed. Sebastian rolls his eyes at me, but I don't care. I'm too tired. After he showers and brushes his teeth, Sebastian lies down in bed. The lights go out with a voice command. I try to sleep, but the bed is so big. I can't fall asleep. Sebastian sighs and moves closer to me. He pulls me toward him and wraps his arm around my waist. We end up in the spooning position. I can't sleep now, especially since I'm not wearing anything under Sebastian's shirt. I feel awkward. A few moments later, Sebastian sits up and moves to the floor with a pillow and blanket. He falls asleep right away, leaving me wondering what just happened. When I wake up again, it's late, and the room is empty. There's a note on the nightstand. It says, "At work, dinner at 6, wear this." Inside the box is a beautiful green dress. It looks fancy, so I assume we're going somewhere special. I look at the clock. There's only an hour to get ready. I'm not surprised I slept until 5 p.m. I'm still catching up on sleep. When Sebastian returns, I'm already dressed and ready to go. My hair is up, and I'm not wearing makeup because I have none. Sebastian doesn't look at me, but I know he notices. I can't stop looking at his chest as he undresses. I clear my throat. "Where are we eating?" He looks at me. "L'Oscurità." It's a fancy restaurant in Tribeca, and getting a reservation there is nearly impossible. I don't have the proper manners for such a fancy place. Sebastian says, "Don't worry. We're just eating with my family. Think of it as a trial run." I feel a nervous knot in my stomach. "Does your family know this is fake?" I ask. He nods. "They know everything." Everything? I start remembering things I don't want to, hoping his family doesn't know about them. Chapter 11. The ride to the restaurant is quick. We go straight from the private underground garage at the penthouse to the one under the restaurant. I don't even get to breathe in the New York air. Sebastian opens the door for me, but I don't take his hand. I can get out of the car on my own. I'm a modern woman. Instead of grabbing his hand, I use the door to help myself up and accidentally press a button near the handle. Suddenly, wheels pop out from the bottom of the door. I stare wide-eyed. "Did your car just grow wheels?" "They're 4 if the car gets stuck during a shootout," he explains. I gasp because the idea of needing protection from a shootout seems so wild. The door can be removed and we can hide behind it while moving to safety. The wheels help, so we don't have to carry it. That's smart, but also a little silly. A shootout? Sebastian presses the button again and the wheels slide back into the door. He offers me his arm and I take it, wondering if something else might pop out of him, like horns or a tail if I don't. The maitre d' leads us into a private room in the restaurant. He calls Sebastian Mr. Black and me Ms. Ives without asking our names. I'm confused about how he knows me, but I don't ask. We walk into the room, and Sebastian's guards, who came with us in the car, stay by the door, one outside and one inside. The room is big, but there's just one fancy oval table with 4 plates set up. One wall is all glass, showing the kitchen on the other side. But the glass is one way because the chefs don't notice us. To my surprise, I see the guy from my first night at Rogue, Bastian, I think, talking to the head chef. Sebastian notices where I'm looking. He's my manager. My manager? Wait, does this mean Sebastian owns the restaurant? And Bastian is in charge? Now, it all makes sense. Once we sit down, servers pour us wine without asking what we want. After they leave, Bastian walks in with an older man, probably in his late 40s. They both walk in with a lot of confidence. Sebastian said we were meeting his family, but neither looked like him. Sebastian stands up and gives the man a big hug. It's a serious hug. When they pull away, Sebastian asks, "How are you, Vince?" "Business is good, can't complain." Vince looks at me with a big smile. "You must be Emma. I'm Vincent, but you can call me Vince or Vinny." I nod and try to shake his hand, but he also hugs me. I hug him back, though a little awkwardly. We all sit down, and I look around at the 3 men. Vince must notice the look on my face because he laughs and says, "We're not blood relatives, dear." Bastian laughs too. "Yeah, no way am I related to that ugly face." Sebastian smirks, clearly amused. "I remember a few of your ex-girlfriends saying otherwise." Wait, did Sebastian make a joke? Sebastian? Make a joke? This is strange. Mafia guys don't joke, do they? They usually sit around in dark rooms listening to music, all serious. Why is everyone acting like this is normal? Vince laughs, ignoring my confusion. Here's how it all started. Bastian and Sebastian were dating the same girl, Bastian interrupts with a smirk. She was no lady. Sebastian snorts and adds, "We weren't dating. We were, you know." Bastian narrows his eyes. Yeah, you think you're hot stuff, Seb." Vince ignores them and keeps talking. Bastian finds out about Sebastian and goes to confront him. "And I messed him up," Sebastian says. "He even had a baseball bat." Vince nods. "I've got 3 brothers, Elias, Gio, and Frankie. Frankie's the head of the Romano family, so that means I'm a Romano too, and I'm high up in the family. That means I'm sitting with Mafia royalty, and I'm not even scared. High up in the family. That means I'm sitting with Mafia royalty, and I'm not even scared." Vince keeps going. "Bastian's my nephew. I used to be head of enforcement, so I was sent to take care of Sebastian. At the time, Bastian was just a 15-year-old boy. I didn't expect what I found." Sebastian finishes the story, his voice softer now. "I didn't have shoes." "And I said, 'Let's go get you some,'" Vince adds. Sebastian's face softens, showing a rare side of him. It's like a weakness, but also something real and profound. He loves someone. I'm surprised. I didn't think he had anything soft in him, and now I see it, and it's a bit beautiful. But I also want to know how to use it to my advantage. Sebastian leans in and whispers in my ear, "Don't mistake my love for weakness, Emma. It made me strong enough to do whatever it takes for the people I love." I shiver. His love turned him into a killer. It's not a weakness, but a power. Vince looks at me knowingly. "Sebastian's like a son to me. He moved into my house when I met him. Even when he went to Wilton, he stayed." Bastian looks angry now. His parents didn't care until he started making money. Then they wanted a piece of it. I realize then that Bastian cares about Sebastian too. I've never really understood love until now. I thought it was a weakness, but seeing how these 3 men care for each other, I know it's the strongest thing in the world. And now I want that. Badly. Chapter 12. I wake up to a loud, angry voice. It sounds like a woman arguing. I don't want to get caught up, so I pretend to stay asleep with my eyes shut and breathe calmly. "Why is she here?" the woman says, sounding upset. Sebastian sighs. "I've told you already, Maria. You work for me, not the other way around. I shouldn't need to explain this again." "But you're really annoying me. Stop." She stays quiet for a moment. "Fine, but I don't like it." "Noted," Sebastian replies, his voice flat. "Do you have what I asked for?" I hear some rustling, like Maria's digging through a bag, before she says, "Here." "Thanks, Maria. You can leave now." I hear her footsteps go away, and I relax. Sebastian pads over to the bed and throws something next to me. It's heavy. "Here," he says. I open my eyes slowly, pretending to wake up. He rolls his eyes at me. "How did you know I was awake?" I ask. He doesn't answer. I don't press him for more. I remember how he used to be a fixer, so he probably has some crazy skills, like hearing my heartbeat from far away. Instead of asking more questions, I look at what he gave me. It's a black binder with no label, about an inch thick. "What is it?" I ask. "It's a bunch of forms and questions for marriages where one person isn't a citizen. Green card marriages. They use these for interviews with immigration officers." "And you thought we could use these to get to know each other," I say, finishing his thought. He holds up a matching binder. "Yep, it's quick and efficient." I groan and nod. "Fine, but I need to brush my teeth first." After I brush my teeth, I find Sebastian sitting cross-legged on the bed. He's in sweatpants and his chest is bare. He looks relaxed, almost friendly. He's got a pen cap in his mouth and is already filling out his form. He looks up as I sit next to him. He throws me a pen and I catch it. I open the binder, place it on my lap, and start working on my questions. We work in silence, the only sound being our pens on paper. The first questions are easy, just general things about our lives. But the problem is, my life isn't that simple. My name isn't even my real name. I fill in what I can, my legal name and my place of birth. I skipped the part about my parents because that could bring up uncomfortable questions. If this keeps going like this, it will be a long day. After an hour, I answered only a few questions and skipped most. I sigh. This isn't going to work. Sebastian looks at me closely, his gaze lingering on the sweat on my forehead. Some of the questions made me anxious. What can I say? Why not? He asks, his tone flat, but with a hint of annoyance. Typical. I give him a half-truth. I grew up in foster care. There's a lot I don't know about my past, and what I do know is messy, like the parents section. Am I supposed to list every foster parent I had? There were a lot of them. He grabs my binder, scanning it. He looks frustrated, seeing how many blanks I left. He sighs. We'll just do it verbally. Great. Now, I have to lie out loud. I nod. How do you want to do this? We'll go one question at a time, taking turns answering. Okay, you start. My name is Sebastian Aaron Black. I was born on May 17th, 1991. I secretly open my phone and start taking notes on an app, keeping it private. I don't want anyone to think I'm weird for making flashcards about Sebastian. I wave at him to go on. I was born at Mount Sinai Queen's Hospital. My mom was a junkie and my dad was a pimp. I don't have any siblings that I know of. I feel bad hearing that. It's tough to think about how casually he talks about it. I write down his answers on my phone, and for his mom's job I type junkie, and for his dad, pimp. Sebastian stops and pulls out a paper. It's a non-disclosure agreement. He says, "You need to sign this before I go on." I skim it and sign it. The NDA is simple. It just says I can't talk about our fake relationship or anything personal about Sebastian and his business. No big deal. After I hand the paper back to him, I take my turn. My name is Emma Ives. It's true now, but it wasn't before. I don't have a middle name. That's not true. I don't know much about my real parents. Also not true. I don't know where I was born either. Not true. Someone left me at a fire station. True point. And social services picked me up. True point. As for my foster parents, there were too many to count. True point. I had a lot of foster siblings, but we never really got close. True point. I never stayed anywhere for more than a few months. That's not true. Should I name all of them? I don't want to. That's the most significant truth I've told. I don't want to talk about Michael, my real name, or how I ran away from everything instead of facing it. It's scary to think how much of my life is a lie. Sebastian may have a harrowing past, but I do too. I shouldn't be so judgmental about him. Sebastian looks thoughtful for a moment, then shakes his head. If anyone asks, I'll just say you bounced from foster home to foster home. You never stayed anywhere long. I nod, feeling relieved. I give him a fake smile, glad the hard part's over. I should go into politics because I'm good at lying. I'd probably win if they had a Best Liar award. As I daydream about being in a pantsuit and giving speeches, Sebastian gestures for me to keep going. I decide to be honest from now on. I can't lie about everything. The foster homes were in the high desert in California, above the Inland Empire. It's not a great area. A lot of crime, and it gets super hot. You can guess what it was like. It wasn't all bad, but it wasn't great either. It's a rough area, lots of trailer homes where people make meth. Fires were common, and everyone knew when a house burned down what had happened. Sebastian stays quiet, so I keep talking. My social worker's name was Mary Peters. She was there for me from the time I went into the system until I aged out. She was good to me, probably the closest thing I had to a parent. But we weren't really close. I haven't talked to her since I turned 18. I feel bad for losing touch with her. She cared about me, but I ran from everything. She tried to help, but I didn't trust her. I still don't, but I do regret losing contact. She did a lot for me. As Sebastian listens, I'm surprised at how non-judgmental he is. He nods, remembering everything I say while I'm writing down every little thing about him. I now have pages of notes on Sebastian. Things like name, Sebastian Aaron Black. Favorite color? Black. Childhood pet? A black pit bull named Dog. Drink of choice? Water or black tea. Sebastian likes the color black. Then we start talking about the more challenging parts of his life, and I realize how honest he's being. I don't know how he does it, but I'm impressed. I've never dared to talk about painful stuff like he does. Where did you learn to fight? I ask, remembering how he beat Bastian when he was only 15. We've stopped working on the forms and just started talking. I'm genuinely curious about his past now. My parents didn't have much money, so I grew up in a bad area. There were a lot of gangs, but I didn't join one. I had to learn to fight to protect myself. I signed up for MMA classes at a local gym. I stole the money for the classes from my mom's drug money. I'd mix her drugs with sugar water to make it last longer, then take the extra money for the classes. He laughs. One night after sparring, a girl came up to me. We ended up having sex in the locker room and we got caught. Turns out, she was dating Bastian. A week later, he came at me with a baseball bat and I fought back. I beat him up too. I guess they were impressed because they took me in after that. Vince offered me a place and I moved into his house on the Upper East Side. He put me in a private school nearby. After that, I went to Wilton. I could have asked Vince to pay for my school, but I didn't want to take advantage of him, so I worked out a deal with the family. You know the rest. As for my story, I lie when needed, but I tell the truth when I can. I don't think Sebastian suspects me. I've learned how to deflect attention from my past, especially with the foster care stuff. It's not all bad, but it's not the best either. And now, even though everything is so messed up, it feels exciting. I think I'm finally living, and I have Sebastian to thank and blame for that. Chapter 13. What do you feel like eating? Sebastian asks. We're on a break, my stomach growling louder than I'd like to admit. The questionnaire we were working on took much longer than expected, so we missed breakfast. It's been a struggle, especially since I'm a huge food lover. I even listed eating as my top hobby. Sebastian, on the other hand, is into MMA. I smile. You're the expert, Emma. I'm getting too comfortable around Sebastian, but I trust him. I enjoy hanging out with him. It's better than spending my Sundays buried in homework. If I'm being honest, I'm starting to enjoy the whole fake fiancé thing. This place is excellent. No rent or food bills closer to campus, and I can finally sleep through the night without hearing Sophia's snoring or someone stumbling home drunk. Sebastian shakes his head with a smile. He seems less annoyed with me now. How about chicken pad thai? I nod. If we're doing Thai, then I'm definitely getting the pad CU with beef and shrimp. His approving look makes me feel a little proud of my food memory. Truth be told, I'm not as good as Sebastian. He has an almost photographic memory, but I'm great with food. I never forget anything related to it. Sebastian grabs his phone to call Maria, his assistant, to place the order. From what I gathered during our conversation, Maria's been a handful recently, but Sebastian's hesitant to fire her. She's been with him since his company's early days at Wilton. It would take too long to train a new person, he says. I don't see why she's been sticking around for so long without any promotion. She's probably annoyed that her hard work hasn't been recognized, which is why she's so grumpy. While Sebastian talks to Maria, I take my phone off airplane mode. Immediately, it buzzes with a ton of texts and a voicemail from Sophia, all from the night we went to Rogue, except one recent message from last night. Sophia, are you at Sebastian's? Sophia, did I read that right? Sophia, hello? Sophia, Emma, you can't just drop that bomb and not reply. Sophia, I hate you. Sophia, on my way home, safe and sound, no thanks to you. Sophia, eating all your starbursts if you don't reply in 3, 2, 1. Sophia, all your red starbursts are gone. Now I'm on to the pink ones. Sophia, pink is gone. Yellow's turn. Sophia, seriously? Not gonna reply? Not even for starbursts? Sophia, I hate you so much. Please don't leave me hanging. Sebastian Black? Sophia, you guys better have had sex. Sophia, take a picture of little Sebastian. I need to know. Sophia, how big is he? Sophia, I bet he's huge. Sophia, you guys have to have babies. Sophia, and get married. Sophia, he won't poison you, I promise. I won't let him. Sophia, if you don't sleep with him, I will. Sophia, I need to know. Sophia, you're the worst roommate ever. Sophia, I ate all your starbursts. Sophia, I'm sleeping on your bed. The only way you can stop me is by replying. Sophia, grrr. Sophia, I'm calling the cops if you don't text back. Sophia, ugh, you suck. Sophia, I'm giving you 24 hours to reply or call the cops. I mean it, loosey-goosey. I roll my eyes. Her grammar is surprisingly decent for someone who was probably drunk when writing this. I check the voicemail, holding the phone to my ear and plugging my other ear to hear it. When I glance at Sebastian, he's watching me, no longer on the phone with Maria. I mouth Sophia's name as the voicemail starts playing. Sebastian snatches the phone from my hands. Hey! I protest, but it's too late. He puts the phone on speaker and replays the voicemail. I sit in embarrassed silence, listening to Sophia's drunken voice fill the room. Loosey-goosey, you better answer your phone. What happened to bros before hoes? She pauses. Or is it chicks before dicks? More rustling. I'm eating all your starbursts, Emma. There's only oranges left while you're at Sebastian's, probably enjoying his yummy cock. Oh no. I bury my face in my hands, not able to face Sebastian. But Sophia's not done yet. I bet he's huge. What is he, 8 inches? 9 ? Don't tell me he's like a 1-incher. I swear I'll be so disappointed. I won't be able to look at another dick again. I jump up, trying to grab Sebastian's phone, but he's faster. He pauses the voicemail and then tackles me onto the bed. I'm pinned under him and my wrists are in his grip. His body presses against mine, making it hard to think straight. He presses play again with his free hand. Gosh, could you imagine having sex with Sebastian Black? If anyone deserves it, it's you after that 3-year dry spell. 2, I want to correct, but what's the point? That's still a long time. I groan, opening my eyes just enough to see Sebastian grinning. It's the first time I've seen him genuinely smile, and it makes me think of the one time I rode Space Mountain repeatedly because there was no line. I want to hold on to this moment just as much. I consider grabbing my phone and photographing his smile before deleting the voicemail. Sophia's the worst best friend ever. Tell me if he makes you orgasm, Sophia continues. I bet you'll have multiple orgasms. She yawns. Sebastian orgasms. They probably deserve their own name. Sebgasms? Seaborgasms? Then there's a loud snore. Sophia passed out mid-message. We sit awkwardly for a few more seconds as Sebastian's body is still on top of mine. Finally, he stops the voicemail. He doesn't delete it. Sebgasms, he asks with a smirk. Shut up, I mutter, acutely aware that my hands are still trapped in his grip. He lowers his head, nuzzling my neck. She's not wrong, you know. The things I could do to you. Just then, Maria bursts in, not bothering to knock. Seb! She stops when she sees us, her expression hardening. I want to know what Sebastian is about to say, but Maria's arrival ruins it. Still, I can't help but be thankful to her for interrupting. Maria was staring at us now, her gaze focused on the way Sebastian was holding me down. It looks too intimate. I take a moment to study her. She's gorgeous, tall, with blonde hair and piercing blue eyes. She looks like she belongs with someone like Sebastian. Naturally, she's well-dressed, wearing heels that scream high class. I'm not jealous, though. I can't afford to feel that way. Sebastian's Mafia connections and I can't get emotionally involved while I trust him. Not with him, not with this fake relationship. I can't afford to let myself feel anything for him. I glance at Maria again, my jealousy simmering just beneath the surface. It's not a great feeling, but I'm pushing it down. Maria watched me closely, her eyes narrowing when she noticed our position. She thinks something's going on between Sebastian and me. I know what she's feeling. Honestly, I don't blame her. She's been around Sebastian for years. Me? I've been here for 1 day, and already I'm getting more attention than she ever has. I'm sure it sucks for her, but it's not my fault. When she sets down the food, I notice that she's intentionally placing the containers to separate Sebastian and me. She's trying to make sure she's between us. It's obvious, and I wonder if she thinks she's being clever. Sebastian doesn't sit down, though. Instead, he picks up our food and walks toward the living room. Maria, you can eat in the penthouse, but Emma and I are eating over here. He's drawing a line, and I can tell by Maria's reaction that she's not used to it. She looks deflated. I sit on the floor next to Sebastian, quietly asking, is she going to be an issue? He shakes his head, opening my takeout. Nah, she's just got a little crush on me. He hands me a fork, and I shake my head at the chopsticks he offers. Little? I whisper, glancing back and forth between us. She knows this is fake, right? Yeah, Sebastian sighs. She's my assistant. She knows everything. But she signed an NDA, so no worries. I nod, though I'm still uneasy. Over the last day, I've realized this fake fiancé thing is more complicated than I thought. If the truth comes out, my reputation here will be ruined. All it takes is for Maria to say something, and my future here could be over. And I'll be damned if I let that happen. Chapter 14. After we finish eating, Sebastian leaves with Maria. He has some work to do, looking at buildings and meeting clients, and I have to pack and do homework. Maria has a smug smile on her face when she walks out with Sebastian. It bugs me. It's not because I'm jealous of them hanging out. I know she can mess up my future. From how petty she was earlier and the looks she gives me when Sebastian's not paying attention, it seems like she would. I've been told to return to my dorm with one of Sebastian's guards and quietly pack my things. I text Sophia, letting her know I'm coming, and I send Sebastian the signed leasing contract. He promised he'd make it disappear like I never even signed it. Yeah, right. And I'm Aphrodite, who invented the orgasm. I'm being delusional, too. While Liam, the guard who checked for bugs 2 nights ago, drives me back to the dorms, I think about what to tell Sophia. She's my best friend, my only friend, and wants answers. She probably won't tell anyone that Sebastian and I are pretending to be a couple, but I can't take that chance. I've only known her for a month and signed an NDA, so I legally can't say anything. But Sophia is good at spotting when I'm lying. She'll figure it out if I try to hide something, so I have to tell her the truth. The problem is, she thinks Sebastian and I just met yesterday. She won't believe we're engaged after only 1 day. She's smart. So is everyone else if they knew the truth. To the world, though, Sebastian and I look like a perfect couple. Every time we've been in public, we've been close. He had his arm around me or was holding my hand. The night at his club, the staff treated Sophia and me like VIPs. We even danced together, and I almost forgot that part. That's one part of the weekend I'm pretending never happened. Anyway, we left the club together, went to dinner with his family, and then I left his place in a Blacktown car from his private garage. Of course, black is Sebastian's favorite color. I think over our fake relationship story again. The first night I went to Rogue, we locked eyes, and it was love at first sight. After we talked outside, we kissed. When I left my phone in the restroom, and Sebastian found it and used it as an excuse to track me down. When he gave it back, I already had a new phone, but the gesture still moved me. I agreed to the date, and we've been secretly dating since. He proposed last week outside of Rogue, where we kissed for the first time. It's like a modern Cinderella story, except I lost my burner phone, not a glass slipper. We switched the timeline for the cover story, so we met 3 weeks ago and fell in love quickly. It's not as believable to say I've only been here for a month, so we must sell the idea that we've been together longer. Yay. We're here, Miss Ives, Liam says as we pull into the parking lot. Emma, I correct him. I sigh. I still don't know what to tell Sophia. I decide to ask Sebastian. I text him. Emma, what do I tell Sophia? Sebastian, Liam has an NDA for her to sign. Emma, K. I frown. Sebastian's reply was quick, almost like he was expecting my message. And does Liam already have an NDA ready for Sophia? This feels like a test, my first test of loyalty. Sebastian wants to see if I'll break my NDA and tell Sophia the truth. I didn't. But what if I had? Liam follows me into the building. We pass one of the students at the front desk, and her eyes widen when she sees Liam. I get it. He's tall, handsome, and well-dressed, but he's not Sebastian. Because of Sebastian, I'm starting not to notice other guys the same way. When I reach my dorm, Kyle, the program coordinator, greets me. He's tall and attractive, but I don't care. Sebastian's engagement is starting to make me immune to other men. Kyle and the other girls were obsessed with him, but I'm annoyed now. "Hey, Luce," Kyle says. "Whoa." He stares at Liam. Since Vaserly is co-ed, it's okay for guys to come into the dorms, but Kyle is surprised because I'm one of the few who hasn't brought anyone in yet. "Kyle, this is Liam," I say. "He's helping me move out." "You're moving out?" Kyle asks, shocked. "Yep," I say, but I don't offer more. It's not his business. Liam and Kyle do that awkward head nod greeting. I walk into my room, and Sophia is lying on my bed. She sits up when she sees me. Before she can say anything, I hand her the NDA Liam gave me and say, "You have to sign this before I can tell you anything." Sophia looks at the NDA and then gets excited. "Oh my gosh! Is he like Christian Grey? Is he into BDM? Does he have a red room?" I blush at her questions. "Sign it first, then I'll talk." She quickly signs it. I don't think she even reads it. Before I can say anything, Liam enters behind me, and the door bumps into me, knocking me down. I land on one of Sophia's spiky heels and scrape my hands on the sharp point. It hurts, and I glare at Sophia for leaving her things around, but she's too busy eyeing Liam. "Sorry, Miss Ives," Liam says, sounding awkward. "Emma," I correct again. Liam helps me up, and Sophia stays quiet, studying him with the look of someone trying to figure out a mystery. "Sophia, this is Liam. Liam, this is Sophia." Liam nods at her and holds out his hand, but she doesn't shake it. Instead, she stares at him like she's putting together a puzzle. Finally, she turns to me and says, "You kinky bitch! You had a threesome, didn't you?" She waves the NDA in her hand. "That's what this is about, isn't it? You didn't think to invite me? That hurts. Do you need a fourth?" She looks Liam up and down. "I volunteer as tribute." "Sophia," I groan. "That's Buzz Lightyear. You're trying to do Katniss Everdeen." But she's not done. "Tell me, Loosey-goosey," she teases. "When are you two having sex?" I roll my eyes. "We aren't. We're fake engaged," I repeat. "Fake." She waves the NDA at me, clearly not giving up. "You don't have to be engaged to someone to have sex. You just have to be near them." I snatch the holy stick, a tube of starbursts, from my desk and hold it up. "Whoever's holding this gets to talk. Everyone else has to be quiet." Sophia jumps for it, but Liam beats her to it, stopping her with a swift move. That's when I realized he was not just helping me pack. He's my bodyguard. Holy crap. I have a personal bodyguard. I feel my panic rising, but take a deep breath. Sebastian and I are not like Christian Grey and Anastasia Steele, I explain. We didn't have a threesome. We didn't even do anything close. Sophia looks at me, still confused, but I'm not going into more detail. Not yet. After some more back and forth, I grab a new tube of starbursts and announce, "I'm moving in with Sebastian." Sophia sits up straight. "What? But what about the dorms?" "I have to," I say. "It won't make sense if I don't." She pouts. "What about me? What about our friendship?" "We'll be fine," I assure her. "I'll be close and we'll still hang out. Sebastian's place is right near campus." She pauses. "Well, you need to call it your home too." I sigh. This feels unreal. She hugs me. "You'll be okay." I'm starting to pack with Liam's help. It doesn't take long because I don't have much stuff. When Liam finishes, I become a simple romper and grab my schoolwork. Then, I hug Sophia goodbye like it's the last time I'll see her. It feels like I'm saying goodbye to something. Chapter 15. It's quiet when Liam and I get home. Home. That word makes me feel nervous. Liam helps me bring my things to the bedroom. We don't say much. We hung my clothes in a corner of the closet where I moved Sebastian's stuff out. I don't have many things, just my laptop, chargers, or school stuff. I left my bedding behind for Sophia because she always liked my bed more than hers. We both know it's because hers is always a mess. In a week, mine will look as bad. My stomach growls. The noise is the only thing that feels familiar here. I sigh and go downstairs to make dinner. The kitchen is full of food, which is a pleasant surprise. At Vaserly Hall, we didn't have kitchens. Everyone ate together in a big room, and the food was served buffet style. It was nice initially, but I was tired of the same choices. Now I can cook for myself. I get out the ingredients to make lasagna, a knife, a cutting board, and a big pot. I chop up some garlic, fennel seeds, onion, and herbs. I cook the onions in olive oil and add garlic, fennel seeds, and ground chicken. After adding more ingredients and a lot of red wine, I turn the stove to simmer and shake my hands. Liam follows me upstairs while I grab my homework. By the time the sauce is ready, I finish most of my work for the week. I mix ricotta cheese with an egg and parsley, then layer the lasagna in a big dish with mozzarella and no-boil noodles I found in the pantry. I put it in the oven to bake. I try to finish my last bit of homework, but I don't get it. I push it aside and focus on Liam instead. He's sitting beside me at the table, looking at the door. He keeps getting up and walking around the house, probably looking for threats. It's funny because this house is super safe. The security here is like Fort Knox. Earlier, I saw a security room full of guards watching several screens. Cameras are everywhere in this building, inside and out, even in other buildings around us. I also learned there's a movie theater and gym downstairs, but Sebastian prefers having his private gym. The only way into the penthouse is through a special elevator in Sebastian's garage. It would be unpleasant to take the elevator down, walk through the garage, and then take another elevator to the lobby to go to the gym. Walking there would be enough exercise for me. Finally, I asked Liam, "How are you not bored?" "Bored?" He looks confused. "Why would I be bored?" "Because you've been sitting there doing nothing." "I'm doing my job." I sigh. "What's with all the security? I get it at the club, but here too." "The security at the club works for the Romano family. Mr. Black didn't fire them when he took over Rogue. Keeping the old team is more manageable, and they like working there. It's much safer than other places. Only Mr. Black's team has access to the VIP club, the penthouse, and personal details. You can tell us apart by our earpieces. Theirs are visible and coiled. Ours are skin-colored, so they're hidden." "Oh," I say, "why are there so many of you?" "There are usually about 26 of us. We work in shifts. You have a night guard named Wilson, but you probably won't meet him if you keep a normal sleep schedule. The guards stay in the security room at night, only leaving to do their rounds. They never come into the bedroom." "Rounds?" I ask. "Is that when you press the buttons?" I noticed Liam pressed tiny buttons on the walls while walking around the house. "They're for security. I have 10 minutes to press them during each round. If I miss one, an alert goes out to all 26 of us. It's never happened before. If I'm not here, someone else does the rounds." "Wow," I say. "I can't believe all this security for one person. Liam says he's out of the mob, but how can I trust that when he's got so many guards?" I glance at Liam. "What did you do before you worked for me?" "I was doing security in the room, but now I'm on your personal detail. They're training someone new, so that's why there are 4 guards instead of 3. "Only 4? "Mr. Black has a lot of enemies," he says. I feel a chill when he says that. The security makes me realize how dangerous it is to be close to Sebastian. I tell myself that the security is just for his protection from business enemies, not criminal ones. It's part of the deal with Sebastian. I'll be financially safe, and after I graduate, I'll have a good job with his recommendation. The rumors about his company buying Illumigen excite me. It would be a dream job. When I think about it, the pros outweigh the cons. Sebastian has no reason to hurt me now. Plus, I have a security guard watching out for me. There's no way his enemies could get past this level of protection. Bulletproof walls, panic buttons, guards on rounds. It's more security than the president gets. When the lasagna is ready, I serve it. I give plates to the guards in the security room and one to Liam. Sebastian gets home just as I finish the last bit of food. Liam had already eaten another piece. "Damn, girl," Liam says when Sebastian walks in. You can cook. What did you make? Sebastian asks. Lasagna. I heat the last piece for him. After he sits down, he looks tired but still alert. He takes off his tie and puts it on the counter. I try not to look as he unbuttons his shirt. You never told me you could cook, he says after taking a bite. I shrug. One of my foster dads was a chef and I loved food, so I learned to cook. I also picked up dishes from all the different families I lived with. Peruvian, Irish, and Vietnamese food are some of my specialities. Sebastian nods and takes another bite. His reaction makes me think of things I shouldn't. He swallows and turns to Liam, who takes the dishes away. You're free for the day. Liam leaves, and it's just Sebastian and me in the room. I try to focus on my homework, but it's stiff with Sebastian sitting beside me. I've chewed on my pencil when Sebastian asks, What's wrong? I don't get this, I say. He leans over and looks at my work. Don't stress about it. That part of the work is old. You probably won't need it. I still have to learn it for the test, I say. He stands up and starts doing the dishes. Watching him do something so normal is strange. When he sits back down, he explains the math to me. Half an hour later, I got it. I wish it were used more often. You should be a teacher, I say. He thinks for a moment. I don't like people, and teachers deal with too many of them. You still deal with people at work. That's different. I'm the boss. Teachers don't have that control. They answer to parents, students, and the government. I nod. I understand. Teaching is hard. I tried it once at an orphanage. They moved me to the kitchen because I wasn't good at it. I tell Sebastian, I tried to teach at an orphanage in Djibouti. I made the kids cry. They moved me to the kitchen after that. The head lady never talked to me, but I was frustrated and asked her to speak. Turns out, she couldn't talk. She was mute. Sebastian looks at me with sympathy as I tell him. He takes a shower, and I try not to look at him. I like my body, but I'm not as confident as him. When he asked what I did in the kitchen, I said, I ran. What? I ran, I say louder. I can hear the water running, but yell, I ran! Sebastian comes back and looks at me. I'm so angry, but I say, I run from everything. I'm a runner. He looks at me like he understands. He says, but you didn't run from me. I freeze. He's right. I didn't run from him. I don't know why. Maybe because I have more to lose now, or I'm tired of running. I'm trying to face my problems instead of running, even if Sebastian is part of those problems and the solution. He looks at me, and I feel he already knows why I'm not running. I whisper, I don't know. He looks at me, and I feel he already knows why I'm not running. I whisper, I don't know. Chapter 16. No, Sebastian replies, repeating the same word for the 15th time. Are you serious? I exclaim. You can't just keep me locked up here, Sebastian. I'm going stir crazy. My own voice doesn't even sound like me anymore. I never agreed to be stuck here like some kind of princess in a tower. Do I need a prince to rescue me? Maybe Renee will do it after he takes your throne. Usually, I wouldn't talk to him this way, but after being cooped up for so long and the fact that he's letting me talk back, I'm not holding back anymore. Sebastian shoots me a sharp look, his expression a strange mix of frustration and something almost amused. You can leave once Tommy gets here. Tommy is my stylist. Sebastian hired him the day after I moved in. The morning I woke, I found a well-groomed man measuring me with tape. He first said, I wish I had a chest like yours. Then he pulled me out of bed and started measuring places I didn't know were important. A couple of days later, he returned with fabrics for fittings, but I haven't seen him since, and I didn't realize my release depended on him. Tommy! I yell, more frustrated than I realize. This is about clothes? You didn't mind how I dressed when you told everyone we're engaged. I wince as my voice gets high-pitched, and without thinking, I stomp off toward the gym, adding, Unbelievable! On my way. I was shocked when I learned that Sebastian's gym isn't just regular. It's also a UFC-style training center with sparring rings and punching bags. It's been great for working off some of my frustration lately. You see, after realizing that I didn't escape from Sebastian, I also realized I'm not as scared of him as I thought. The fear I felt was only there because I allowed it. but once I recognized that, it faded. It's also helped that recently he's been pushing my buttons so much that fear doesn't stop me from standing my ground. I'm not afraid of Sebastian anymore, which works in my favor and not his. It's good for me because now I can stand up for myself, but it isn't good for him because I'm challenging him more than ever. First, he hired Tommy without asking me, like having my fairy godmother. But the point is, he didn't even ask if I wanted new clothes, he just decided I did. Then, when I tried to go to class on Monday, he just said no. No explanation, just no. I tried to leave anyway, with Liam following me, but I discovered there was a biometric scanner for the elevator. And who doesn't have access? Me. When I glared at Liam, he raised his hands in defeat. "Can't help you, gotta get paid," he said. Frustrated, I marched back to Sebastian and demanded to be released. When he refused again, I lost it. I kicked and punched him in a fit of rage. He barely reacted, which only made me angrier. He picked me up, dropped me into the gym, and told me to let off some steam. That's been my routine for the past 2 Sundays. I wake up and ask if I can leave, and he says no. I scream until my throat hurts, then try to escape. Of course, I fail and end up stomping back to him. Usually, my voice is gone when I get to the gym, so I use my fists. Sebastian drops me off in the gym, where I concentrate all my frustration on the punching bags. Eventually, Liam gets tired of my bad form and starts teaching me to fight correctly. I've even gotten better. Just yesterday, I landed a punch on Sebastian's stomach, and for a second, I could have sworn he smiled. Today, I don't even bother trying to escape. I go straight for the new pink punching bag he surprised me with yesterday. In a burst of inspiration, I printed out a picture of his face last night and taped it to the bag for target practice. If Sebastian wants to make it up to me, he can either let me go or get a custom punching bag made to look like him. Punching a picture of him is fun, but it's not the same. After I finish my workout, I head to the office and use Sebastian's desktop computer, which is way faster than my laptop. It's a Black Enterprises model after all. I pull up a picture of Sebastian's face on Photoshop, and in my boredom, I digitally add bruises, a black eye, and a busted lip to it. When I print it out, I can't help but show it to Liam, who rolls his eyes at me. I know it's silly. I was a dedicated student at a prestigious university a few weeks ago, writing insightful essays. Now, I'm digitally bruising my warden's face because I can't do it for real. I even proudly show it to Liam like it's a masterpiece. Feeling playful, I print another copy, grab a red Sharpie, and write a plus in the top corner before taping it to the fridge. Just then, Sebastian walks in, with Maria following behind like the eager assistant she is. Our relationship hasn't changed one bit. We still despise each other, and it's only gotten worse. Maria hates that I sleep on the bed while Sebastian sleeps on the floor. I don't feel bad about it at all. Sebastian deserves to sleep on the floor for keeping me locked up. "What are you doing?" Sebastian asks as he walks up to us. I step back and admire my work as if it were priceless art. I tilt my head, pretending to be at a gallery, and in a fake French accent, I say, "The black eye is magnificently done, is it not?" I glance at Sebastian. He's trying to hide a smile, but I see it. His blue eyes twinkle, making me feel like I've won. I should feel proud, but I know I'm just trying to get his reaction. I sigh internally. I need to get out of here. I still have no idea why I'm being held captive. He's treating me well, feeding me, and even giving me VIP access to all my assignments from school. But I've missed so much that I should have been kicked out by now. Instead, my professors send me messages, encouraging me like I'm just taking a break. Sebastian's place is luxurious, but it feels like a gilded cage. I want out. I need freedom. I'm starting to understand how prisoners feel. Sebastian hands me a box. "This is a prototype for our latest virtual reality glasses. I programmed some games and scenic activities for you. It should help with the cabin fever." I take the gloves he hands me, which have metal sensors. "They're ugly," I mutter, though I appreciate the gesture. "It's a prototype," Sebastian replies, his eyes darkening as he adds, "Beauty's overrated." I look at the list of apps on the VR console, and I'm stunned. There's one called Emma's Lab for experimenting with chemicals, adventures for Emma to explore places I've always wanted to go, and Emma's Kitchen to create whatever meal I want without the mess. It's flattering. He's paying attention to me, even to the most minor details. But simultaneously, I can't ignore that he's keeping me here. I don't know what I should feel about this, but my heart races. When I look up to thank him, he's already gone, vanishing like the mystery he is. Chapter 17. An hour later, I'm speeding down the slopes in Athens with Liam behind me. I can't see him because I'm wearing glasses, but I hear him moving furniture to ensure I don't run into anything. He's holding soft pillows ready to stop me from hitting a wall. Whenever I'm about to creep, he shoves one of the pillows in front of my face, so I bump into that instead. I jump off a ski lift when I hear, "No way, girl! What are you wearing? I never want to see those gloves and those ugly glasses again." "Tommy!" I yell, throwing the glasses at Liam. He catches them, just barely. "Expensive prototype," he says. I shrug. I'm not feeling careful with Sebastian's stuff right now. I want to leave this place and finally have a way out. But I carefully removed the gloves and set them on the coffee table for some reason. Liam raises his eyebrows, but I don't answer. Even though I want to leave, I may be grateful for Sebastian's gift. So what? I quickly turn away and hug Tommy, squeezing him tightly. I've been working out with Liam, so my arms are stronger now, and I hope my new body won't mean Tommy needs to adjust everything again. I want to ask him why it took so long to make all my clothes, but I stay quiet. I don't want to upset my chance to leave this place. Tommy doesn't make me wait long. "Try these on," he says, handing me a garment bag. "I'll get the rest from the hall." I moved into the living room so Tommy wouldn't have to carry the clothes upstairs. Plus, I want to leave quickly. I can't believe Sebastian kept me trapped here because I didn't have the right clothes. I even asked if I could buy something at a designer store on Fifth Avenue, but he said no. The clothes had to be from Tommy. As I opened the bag, I saw why. A beautiful burgundy dress is inside, with a corset top made of mesh and lace and a fitted skirt. The corset has gorgeous rubies sewn into it, and I hope they're not real diamonds. I've never seen anything like it. I can't wait to try it on. Liam turns away as I change, but I can't get the back of the dress hooked. Tommy comes in to help. He presses a button by the wall, and suddenly, the glass window turns into a mirror. I stare at myself, surprised. "What just happened?" I ask. "It's a special type of glass. It's made with nanotechnology," Liam explains. I look at my reflection, then at Liam, who seems surprised too. "Wow," I say. The dress fits perfectly, hugging my body. The corset looks like something you'd wear as lingerie, but it's still elegant. The skirt is tight and ends at my knee. Though I've never been to one, I could wear this to a fancy dinner. "I know, I'm awesome," Tommy says proudly. Liam doesn't say anything when he looks at me, but I can tell he's impressed. "I look great in this dress." "Tommy, if the rest of these clothes are as good as this, I'm kidnapping you," I say, still staring at the dress. Tommy smiles. "The rest should fit, but you might need to try on a few things for adjustments." I nod, looking at the many clothes hanging on metal racks. There are way more clothes than even Sebastian has. I can't believe Tommy made all of this so quickly. It looks like an entire boutique. "I would have finished sooner, but Sebastian sent me a picture of you. I fixed everything to match," Tommy says, eyeing my new figure. I try not to think about the fact that Sebastian had a recent picture of me. "You did all this from a picture?" I'm really good at my job. "No kidding," I say, amazed by the amount of clothes. There are lots of evening gowns, each more beautiful than the last. I'm excited to try them on, even though I've never attended a fancy event. I feel like Cinderella, except without the part where she's chased all over by a stranger. Can you imagine dancing with some guy and having him chase you everywhere afterwards? That's not romantic. That's stalking. I'm exhausted by the time I'm done trying on clothes. After all that, Tommy only needs to alter 2 dresses. The security guards come to help Liam carry the clothes upstairs. Tommy and I follow with at least 1,000 velvet hangers. We swapped out the thick hangers Sebastian used with the thin ones Tommy brought so my clothes fit in our shared closet. It's hard to pull anything out because the closet is full. Finally, as we step back to admire our work, I notice my old clothes are in a bag on the floor. Tommy picks it up, heading toward the door. "What are you doing?" I ask, shocked. "I'm taking these to Goodwill," he says. "What?" I know I have all these fantastic new clothes, but feel attached to the old ones. They were mine, and I worked hard to get them. At least I want to keep my little black dress. Tommy shrugs. "Sebastian said to donate them." I want to argue, but he's right. There's no room for my old clothes now. I should be thankful for the new ones, but I can't help it. I just... He looks over at Liam, who's sitting quietly. "Sorry, I have strict orders to give these away," Tommy says, quickly running out. "I can't chase him because I can't access the elevator." "This is your fault," I tell Liam. "How is this my fault?" he asks, confused. "If I could go down to the lobby, I could have stopped him." "I can give you access," Liam says, offering a way out. And for the first time in a month, I feel free. Chapter 18. The freedom feels nice, almost like it takes the sting out of losing my clothes, but the sadness still exists. I feel something heavy in my chest, making it hard to enjoy being free. Maybe I'm being dramatic, but I can't help it. Those old clothes were the only things left from my past. I texted Sophia, asking if she wanted to meet for an early dinner at Carmen's Cantina, a Mexican place close to campus. Thanks to Tommy, I'm wearing dark blue jeans, a tight black turtleneck, and fancy black thigh-high boots that add 4 extra inches to my height. I look good. It's almost too good. It's strange. I wore my old, worn-out clothes the last time I saw Sophia. Now I'm dressed in fancy clothes that look like they were made just for me. Is this what Julia Roberts' character feels like in Pretty Woman? Part princess, part not-so-nice girl? Liam and I take one of the many cars parked in the private garage. All the cars belong to Sebastian, but each one is assigned to a different employee while they work for him. They leave the cars there for safety and convenience. Our car is black, spacious, and has cream-colored leather seats. But I'm not thinking about how comfy the seats are. I'm pressing my nose against the window, excited as we drive through the streets. It's the first time I'm seeing New York up close again in almost a month. I'm finally free, but the excitement is almost too much. I try to roll down the window, but Liam quickly locks it and tells me it's for security reasons. I don't mind because Carmen's is just a block away. We could have walked, but parking in New York is a hassle, especially near campus. We don't need to worry about parking. Liam parks in a no parking zone without a second thought. "We won't have a car when we leave," I say, pointing at the sign that says tow zone. Liam nods and gestures toward the front license plate. They won't tow this car or ticket it. I look closer and realize the plates are diplomatic. Seriously? How does someone get diplomatic plates without actually being a diplomat? Sebastian has some profound connections. I might have to borrow a car from him when this is all over. I could get used to parking anywhere in New York City. Carmen's is a family-owned bar where a lot of students hang out. I spot several of them as I walk in. Most are at the bar watching a game. The guys are into the game, but the girls are watching the guys. It's a familiar and comforting sight. I walk past to the bar and sit in a booth at the back. Liam sits at a different table, far enough for privacy but close enough to help if anything goes wrong. "I hate you. You missed about 4 of our scheduled meals, you jerk," Sophia says, sitting across from me, her arms crossed, expecting me to apologize. "You can blame Sebastian for that. I was stuck." I flip it around. "You didn't even try to save me?" I tease with a smile. "You jerk." Sophia rolls her eyes and holds up her phone. I didn't get a single SOS message. She's right. I didn't want her to get involved. A few days after my engagement, I signed a contract with Sebastian. I'm getting a lot from this deal. Free housing, food, a job recommendation, clothes, a condo, and a hefty divorce settlement when it's over. We'll quietly marry in a courthouse soon and divorce in a year. It's a 2-year plan, but I'll be financially set for life after it. It's a good offer from Sebastian, but now I understand why he made it. It's the bait, and I've taken it. I won't ruin this for myself, even if I'm stuck waiting for clothes to be made. I can't embarrass Sebastian with a fashion mistake. "I'm sorry, I really have missed you," I tell her. And I have. When she was my roommate, I used to need space from her. But now, without her, I find myself missing her. I always heard people say, "You don't know what you've got till it's gone," but I never knew it applied to friends, too. Her eyes shine as she says, "I didn't realize how much I needed you until you just disappeared." I'm glad it's not just me feeling this way. I smile at her words, but try to steer the conversation away from the heavy stuff. Talking about feelings has never been my thing. "I didn't disappear. You could have visited me." "I tried." "What?" I'm surprised. "And they wouldn't let you in?" "No." She looks embarrassed. I can't believe this. Sophia is usually brave, but now she's afraid even to enter my building. When did things change between us? "It's not as scary as it seems. It's a nice place." She looks cautiously at Liam's table. In a soft voice, she asks, "Are you in danger, Emma?" "You'd tell me, right? I promise I'll take it seriously." My heart feels warm with her concern. "I'm safe, Sophia. I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't feel okay. There are contracts and rules to protect me. The only way this goes wrong is if I break the contract. I'm being treated well, and when it's over, I'll have gained so much. It's the smart choice for me." "If you say so, I trust you." Then, like the best friend she is, she smirks. "Have you hooked up with him yet?" I roll my eyes. "No, you perv. Let's talk about something else." "You've been living with Sebastian Black for a month and haven't done anything? You must be a lesbian." "I am not a lesbian," I say, just as a waiter arrives. "What's wrong with being a lesbian?" he asks, grinning at us. "Nothing," I say, trying not to blush. "I just don't happen to be one." I show him my left hand as proof. We all notice the ring on my finger. It's a gorgeous diamond. Maria gave it to me. Sebastian was in a meeting when she threw the box on the bed, glared at me, and walked out without saying a word. It made me feel sorry for her. Sophia stares at it. "Wow, that's a big diamond." The waiter looks surprised. "So the rumors are true?" Sophia raises an eyebrow. "What rumors?" "Maybe she flunked out or something, or was killed by Sebastian Black." "What?" Sophia asks, looking at me. The waiter glances at Liam nervously. He speaks more slowly this time. "I thought maybe she was killed by Sebastian Black." "Why would you think that?" I ask. "Because he's in the mob," he says, almost panicking. "Allegedly," Sophia adds with a smirk. "I'll have carne asada fries," Liam roars from his table. The waiter freezes, dropping his pen. "Ooh, me too." I raise my hand. Sophia smirks. "Ditto." The waiter nods quickly and walks away, looking embarrassed. I feel a little sorry for him and make a note to tip him well. "So, about missing classes. How have you not been kicked out of Wilton?" I got an angry email for missing one class last week. She grins. "Honestly, it made me feel like I was being punished." I realize how much I've missed her when I don't react. "I bet your head is full of crazy stuff." She laughs. "Basically, but every guy in my head is, really, really well endowed." I cross my arms, feeling a little self-conscious. "They're only that big at Victoria's Secret." She agrees, then teases me again. "Stop changing the subject." "You started it," I reply. She laughs. "So, how are you getting away with all this at Wilton?" I explain. "Professors send me stuff by email. I do my assignments and turn them in online. When I have tests, someone comes to the penthouse to supervise." Sophia looks serious. "Isn't that because of Sebastian's power?" I nod. "Probably. It just started happening, and I never asked how they knew I'd be gone. I guess I assumed it was him." She looks concerned. "Doesn't it worry you that he has so much influence there?" I understand why she's worried. Wilton prides itself on being fair. Yet here I am, getting special treatment because of Sebastian. No one will say anything when I return, though. I realize that no one dares to question Sebastian when he does something. "No," I tell her. "He doesn't scare me anymore." She narrows her eyes. "Really?" "I've seen the way you look at him. There's fear there." I think about our past talks. There was fear at first, but now I'm comfortable. He has no reason to hurt me. I'm safe. Sophia watches me closely. "Do you like him?" No, I deny quickly, but add, I'm more attracted to him than before. She raises her eyebrows. You were already into him a month ago. Yeah, I admit. A month ago, you were practically all over him at Rogue. Yeah. And now you're more attracted to him? Yeah. She leans back, wide-eyed. Wow. Are you sure you haven't slept with him? I groan, thankful, when the food arrives to cut off the conversation. If Sebastian ever asks, I'm not sure I can say no, but then again, sex would make this whole situation more complicated than it needs to be. I glance at the plate of fries. Liam is already eating them, watching the room for threats. I spot someone with red hair. A threat. Uh-oh, trouble ahead. Sophia frowns when she sees Minka and her crew. We've been spotted. Minka has a way of sensing things. I'm sure she'll be over soon. I don't know why she's here, Sophia mutters. She probably doesn't even eat. She stands up, pushing her food away. I need to go. Be right back. But when I start eating her guacamole, she stops. I wasn't really losing my appetite. You snooze, you lose, I smile. As she heads to the bathroom, the noise in the restaurant suddenly goes quiet. I look up. Sebastian has arrived. Chapter 19. Sebastian walks toward me, looking sharp in a nice, well-fitted suit. I can tell Tommy must have helped him pick it out. It's a dark gray suit with a soft button-down shirt and a matching tie. The shirt is smooth and made from fancy Egyptian cotton, and the suit is light and made from wool. It has a simple single button with sleek lapels on the sides. Wow. He looks fabulous, as if he just stepped off a magazine cover. Sebastian looks at me with an intense, heated gaze. My turtleneck is tight, covering me fully, yet I still feel confident in it. I notice Sebastian checking me out, his eyes stopping for a moment on my chest, like he's done before. He glances at Sophia's food, making a face. After nodding to Liam, he unbuttons his suit and sits beside me. I quickly glimpse a gun holstered under his jacket, but it's hidden again as he settles in. When he sits down, I get pushed closer into the booth, feeling his large body beside mine. It's a little cramped, but I know how close we are, with our sides pressed together. He leans in and kisses my temple, making me forget to breathe. What are you doing here? I glance at the restroom door, hoping Sophia comes back soon. Just here to meet my fiancé and her best friend for dinner. Don't want anyone thinking there's trouble between us, he says with a sarcastic tone, then takes out his phone. After typing something, he hands it to me. The phone screen shows an article titled, Trouble in Paradise. Below it, there's a picture of me walking into Carmen's. I'm happy I wear Tommy's clothes because I look great. I didn't think the paparazzi would care about me, but I'm glad I'm not wearing my usual hand-me-downs. I read the article. Trouble in Paradise? By Justin Sider. Hey, everyone! Sebastian Black's fiancée, Emma Ives, 20, was seen out and about, without Sebastian. This is the first time she's been photographed since the news about their engagement. Could there be trouble in paradise? What do you think? Let us know. But let's be honest, we know you're all hoping they don't get married. I scroll down and read some of the top comments. Alyssa, Downey, California. Finally! Sebastian's smart to move on. He deserves better. Hannah Marie, Richmond, Virginia. Who wouldn't want to have Sebastian Black's kids? David, Devil's Lake, North Dakota. I'd be with her, even if she's not his first. Erin, El Paso, Texas. I bet she's got some skills to match her looks. Grossed out, I handed Sebastian his phone back. I looked around and noticed Maria wasn't there, even though she was usually with him. It's just him and one of his bodyguards sitting across from Liam. Both of them have serious faces, making them look intimidating. I turn to Sebastian. Where's Maria? I sent her home, he answers. Her attitude's been bad and it's getting on my nerves. I'll deal with her soon. But you won't, I say, knowing he's just letting it go. He looks at me with a serious gaze, making my skin tingle. I shiver a bit and he smiles slightly. I won't, he agrees. It's not the right time to fire her yet. People will start thinking things are unstable. And after? Once the vote's over, she's out. I nod, relieved. I know Maria can't stand me, and I feel the same about her. I have a contract to stay here, but she doesn't. If anyone's going, it's her. She knows that too, which makes her meaner toward me. She reminds me of Minka, except Maria has more power to make my life harder. Speaking of Minka, I spot her approaching us as Sophia sits. "Here comes trouble," I say, quoting a book title. Sophia looks away from Sebastian in surprise, just as Minka sits down. There's a lot of movement behind her as Liam and Sebastian's bodyguard stand up. Sebastian shakes his head, and they sit back down. The guard keeps his eyes on us while Liam watches the room. "Minka," Sophia says, greeting her coldly. Minka doesn't seem to care about Sophia and me. She's focused on Sebastian, and when he puts his arm around me, I snuggle up against him, resting my head on his shoulder. We're clearly showing Minka that we're close. Minka's hands turn into fists. Her eyes narrow at us. Behind her, Nella looks shocked, and the other girl stares. Minka changes her expression, trying to act sweet. "Hey, Sophia, Emma. We miss you in the dorms, Emma." I can tell she's lying, but she keeps talking. She glances at my clothes. "I love your new outfit. It looks so expensive. Did you get a new job? Find someone who pays well?" Her words sting, like she's calling me a prostitute. The insult hits too close to home. Sebastian might not be paying me for intimacy, but he is paying me to marry him. If I'm honest, being with him would be a bonus. How did I get here? How did I go from being forced into a fake engagement to wanting to be with Sebastian? Maybe it's because he's funny and caring, even though he's so handsome. I can't help but wonder if I've fallen for him. Am I one of those girls who is blinded by good looks? I glance at Sophia, who looks just as surprised. I can't believe Minka is saying all this in front of Sebastian. Speaking of which, Sebastian is stone still next to me. I remember that Minka's mom did the same thing to me. I put my hand on his thigh under the table to comfort him. He finds my hand and holds it, our fingers interlacing under the tablecloth. Minka shifts her attention to Sebastian, clearly interested in him. "It's nice to meet you, Sebastian," she says, smiling and holding her arms so her chest pushes up. "I'm Emma's friend. I'd love to get to know you better." I can feel her trying to flirt with him. Sebastian looks at her, his gaze moving slowly from her feet to her face. She fidgets, her confidence faltering. After a moment, he says, "If you're going to be fake, at least try to make it look good." Minka takes a step back, surprised. Sebastian doesn't stop there. "Do you always treat the women I care about like this?" Everyone looks at me, and I feel my face go red. Sebastian leans in, staring directly at Minka. "I know what you're really after. You're not here for a degree. You're just looking for a rich guy to latch on to." Minka gasps, "If you come near Emma again, I'll make sure no one in this city will want anything to do with you." The table goes silent. Sophia breaks it with loud laughter. Minka walks away, holding her head high, but I can see her legs shaking. Her friends follow her, looking just as uncomfortable. I stay quiet, though. No one has ever stood up for me like that. I know Sebastian probably did it to protect his image, but even so, I'm thankful. And emotional. I've never had someone defend me like that. Tears start rolling down my cheeks. I can't stop them. Sebastian turns to me concerned. "Are you okay?" Sophia looks at us and says, "I think it's time for me to go." She squeezes my hand. "Love you, Luce." And then it's just Sebastian and me, and my tears. I pull away a little, trying to calm down. "I don't know why I'm crying," I say, taking a shaky breath. Sebastian shields me from the rest of the bar, and I'm grateful. I don't want anyone seeing me cry, especially not Minka. "It's not about what she said, is it?" he asks gently. I shake my head. It's not Minka that upset me. I'm just overwhelmed by what Sebastian did for me. But I can't tell him that. I stay quiet, waiting for him to speak. After a while, he says, "I cried the first time someone bought me shoes." I'm surprised. "What?" I look at him, confused. He laughs bitterly. "Before Vince, I used to steal shoes. But when he bought me a pair, I cried." My heart aches for the young Sebastian, crying over something kind. Why are you telling me this? He looks at me, his gaze warm. It's okay to cry when someone is kind to you. This is the first time someone's defended you, but it won't be the last. I'll always be there for you. How did you know? I stopped myself. Of course, he knew. This is Sebastian Black. I laugh a little. You're different than I thought. I thought he was cold and calculating, and he was even dangerous. But I was wrong. Sebastian is so much more. He's funny, protective, and kind, and I'm starting to see that I like this new side of him. Chapter 20. The following week, I'm excited to find an invitation to Wilton's senior networking event in my email. The school's event is a chance for graduating seniors in the sciences to connect with leaders in the medical field. It's an exclusive event for seniors graduating with magna or summa cum laude honors. As a junior, I shouldn't be invited, so it must be Sebastian's doing. I'm surprised, but it's a sweet gesture. It's customary to bring a date, so when I ask him if he'll come with me, I'm relieved when Sebastian agrees. I'm tempted to ask how he got me an invite, but if something shady is involved, I'd rather not know. This opportunity is too big to pass up. On the event day, I slip into the jeweled burgundy dress that Tommy made for me, the first one I tried on when he came over last week. After applying light makeup, I feel confident as I step out of the bathroom. Sebastian is stepping out of the closet, his head down, but he looks up when he hears me. I stand still as his eyes scan me, moving from my heeled feet to my hair, which is styled in a neat French twist. "You look amazing," he says, the words sounding unfamiliar to him but still sincere. His compliment makes me blush, which causes him to shake his head and smile. He returns to the closet wearing a tie that matches my dress, a black suit and a white shirt. To my surprise, he hands me his cufflinks, raising an eyebrow. The lust in his eyes hasn't gone unnoticed. I've seen Sebastian put on cufflinks 100 times before. He doesn't need help. But I help him anyway. As I slip one cufflink into his sleeve, my fingers brush his skin, and I realize why he asked. He wanted an excuse for me to touch him. I was surprised to see Minka with an older man at the event. She scowls at me but stays at a distance. She glances at Sebastian, and I wonder if her date is one of the men she's trying to get something from. After checking in, Sebastian introduces me to several important people in the medical field. I'm in awe of how well he knows everyone, and I can tell these people respect him. Despite his age, he carries himself with more confidence than anyone else. I'm proud to be by his side. I'm also grateful for how he ensures I stay involved in the conversations, treating me as an equal, not just an accessory. As a result, everyone we meet treats me with the same respect. I'm buzzing from all the connections I've made when I head to the bar for water with Liam trailing behind me. I freeze when I spot Minka's date. He's leaning against the bar, scanning the room. I watch in horror as he drops something, a pill perhaps, into one of the drinks and stirs it with his finger. He then heads to a table, giving Minka the spiked drink. I may dislike Minka, but no one deserves to be drugged. There's no question, I need to act fast. I turned to Liam and explained what I saw. He leads me back to Sebastian, who quickly makes plans with a security guard to handle the situation. Minka is in good hands. I don't owe her anything else. Can we leave now? I ask Sebastian, not wanting to risk a scene. He nods. After saying our goodbyes, we head out with his bodyguard behind us. Liam stays behind to deal with Minka's date, leaving just the three of us to leave the event. It's a short walk back to the penthouse, and I ask Sebastian if we can walk instead of waiting for a ride. We stroll down the sidewalk near Sproul Hall, where my statistics class is held. Sebastian holds my hand, probably for appearances, but I don't mind. I also don't mind the guard walking behind us. As we pass a busy intersection, I watch the traffic. Bicycles and motorcycles weave in and out of the gridlocked cars. I can't help but laugh when I see two big guys on a Ducati. They're so muscular that they barely fit together on the bike. Sebastian notices my laugh and follows my gaze. I frown when I see the look in his eyes. Calculated, focused. I see it then, a gun. The guy in the back locks eyes with me and reaches for the weapon. Sebastian and I react simultaneously, but I accidentally push him into the line of fire in the chaos. The bullet hits him in the chest. I'm crouched down, shielded by his falling body. Everything moves in slow motion as I see him hit the ground. I assume he's gone, but he reaches behind his back, pulling out 2 guns. He shoots. 2 bullets fly, hitting both motorcyclists. Finally, Sebastian falls. I carefully push him off me, checking his chest for blood. I see a hole in his shirt, but there's no blood. I press my hand to the spot, unsure what else to do. "Emma, stop!" Sebastian winces at my pressure. "Babe, stop." I'm so focused on the situation that I barely register him calling me babe. When he pries my fingers away, I stare as he tears open his shirt, pulling out the bullet. His undershirt is unharmed. I feel a rush of relief. I crawl into his lap, hugging him tightly. There may be tears, but I won't admit it. I pull back, check the spot on his chest, and hug him again. Then, without thinking, I slap him. He catches my wrist before I can do it again. What was that for? He looks confused. "Are you wearing a bulletproof vest?" I gesture to my dress. "What about me? What if I was the one shot?" I move to slap him again, but he pulls me closer, holding me tight. I'm still straddling his lap, and his embrace feels so natural. He shakes slightly, and I realize it's not fear. It's laughter. He chuckles. "What you're wearing is bulletproof." He laughs again. "The fabric in your dress is the same as my suit's lining. You wouldn't have been hurt. I was just moving to shield you." Sebastian laughs again, but I'm still in his arms. Liam appears above us, raising an eyebrow at our position. I try to move, but Sebastian holds me tighter. I don't want to move. I feel safe with him. It all clicks now. Sebastian has been protecting me from the start. He ensured I wore the right clothes for safety, not just style. He didn't want me to get hurt. I swoon a little. How can I not be affected by this? He protected me. With the adrenaline still rushing through me, I can't help but touch Sebastian's chest. I feel the fabric of his suit and realize it's identical to my dress's lining. "How is this possible?" I ask. "We make bulletproof fabric in one of our labs," Sebastian explains. "I gave Tommy some samples to make our clothes." Wow, I didn't know bulletproof clothes were a thing. It's been out for years. President Obama wore a bulletproof suit to his inauguration in 2009. I stay quiet, still in his arms. The sirens are getting closer, but I don't want to move. I'm still shaken by everything. Sebastian rubs my arms, easing my fear. "What do you have?" he asks Liam. I look past Sebastian at the 2 guys tied up on the ground, blood on the sidewalk. Sebastian's guard is standing near them, keeping watch. "They have no IDs," Liam replies, sounding concerned. "I don't think they're Mafia. Maybe corporate?" I'm not convinced. Who hires someone to kill for a corporation? "Do you know who they were after?" Sebastian asks. I freeze. "You think they were after me?" Sebastian's voice is firm but gentle. "I won't let anything happen to you." I'm surprised when he kisses my forehead. The sirens get closer, but I stay in his lap, tense. They might look into my past if they think I'm a target for Michael. The sirens get closer, but I stay in his lap, tense. They might look into my past if they think I'm a target for Michael. Chapter 26. We have a tentative agreement. Well, agreement isn't exactly the right word. That implies we've been fighting, but we haven't. The only things climbing between us are the what-ifs and the things we wish hadn't happened. They're constantly at odds, rarely following the agreement we set when Sebastian kindly agreed to forget what I said. "I don't run from you." It was an impulsive thing to say, but he needed to understand why I was sticking around. At least I managed to give him part of the truth. I couldn't tell him I wasn't ready to leave him. I feel the could have been at night when the space between Sebastian and me in the bed feels like a heavy, uncomfortable fog. He's been staying in bed with me ever since that nightmare, and I still can't bring myself to ask him not to. I feel the shouldn't be when he gives me sweet, casual kisses for the cameras. After the charity polo match, we've had to make more public appearances, but we're still cautious about the threats to my safety. The police have no leads, and neither does Sebastian's private investigator. So, Sebastian's increased security. I'm never without 2 guards, Liam and whoever is assigned to me that day. I'm caught between reality and fantasy. I know what we had wasn't something profound, but it could have been if I had let it. But for now, it was just a short, intense moment when two people who shouldn't be together realized they wanted to be. And then it was over. Quick but painful. And, oh, so painful. And I try to pretend it never happened. Sebastian, kind soul that he is going along with me, helping to fight the awkwardness by pretending it isn't there until it isn't. We act like there's no reason for any of it, and after a few weeks, it's like it never was. In many ways, we're back to how things were before he barged into his room that morning after the polo match and confessed his insecurities about depending on others. That was the moment I realized he was vulnerable, the moment that made me question his dangerous side. Without that moment, there wouldn't have been the next tender moment, and the next. So I fought to forget it. When I finally did, it became easier to forget the sweet kisses, the hand-holding, and the quiet moments of connection between us. And I shake my head. I'm supposed to be moving on, not thinking about him more. Sebastian is off to Italy. This is a rare moment for me. Since Maria's mistake of not knowing about the charity match until the last minute, Sebastian has been around a lot more. A month has passed since that event, and a new school semester has started. But until now, Sebastian hasn't left the state once. Most of his time is spent in the Black Enterprise's office, which means the penthouse is still mine to enjoy during the day. But at night, he slithers into bed beside me. It's both a blessing and a curse. Even with Sebastian in the city, we don't talk much. I won't avoid him on purpose, though I'm tempted to. I won't do it, though, because that would mean acknowledging that there's something between us that I'd rather avoid. It's too fresh, too painful. So, I've buried myself in schoolwork. I've bumped it up to 20 units and get lost in mindless tasks. When I'm not doing schoolwork, which I still do in the penthouse, I wear myself out physically, either at the gym or at Sebastian's shooting range. That's where I am now, unloading my frustration on a target. The sound of the gunfire is drowned out by the pop music blasting through my Bluetooth headphones. A playlist Rogue made me is blasting so loud I can barely hear my thoughts. I press the button beside me and the target moves forward. After unclipping it, I study the holes in the paper. I've gotten a lot better, but I doubt I could ever do that to a person. In a real-life situation, I wouldn't have the courage to pull the trigger, let alone aim with precision. But that's not what I need. That's what Liam's for. I head out of the armory, putting away my handgun. Liam is waiting by the door, scanning the hallway. He always stays out here while I'm in the armory because it's soundproof, and he won't be able to hear any threats. If something happens, he has a button to press to sound the alarm throughout the range and armory, accessible only through the range. I'm supposed to get into the armory, where the doors lock from the inside, and call the police if I don't hear from Sebastian in 15 minutes. I've said it before, and I'll repeat it. The security feels over the top. Even after the 2 shootings, I still think so. When he saw me, I handed Liam the target paper. He grins and says something I can't hear with my headphones on. I tell him I will take a bath and head to the bedroom. He stays outside the door, standing guard. I shed my clothes and leave them scattered on the floor. I'll clean it up later. I'm dancing to the music, enjoying the rare privacy, when I walk into the bathroom and freeze. Sebastian is in the shower. He doesn't notice me initially, but I can't look away. His eyes are closed, and he's lost in the moment, his attention focused elsewhere. I stand, frozen, watching for a moment. I shake myself from the trance and step away quietly, but my mind races. That was a moment I'll never forget. I'm unsure what to do with the emotions he stirs in me. I want to approach him but hesitate, uncertain how to act. I walk away, knowing that I need to slow things down. Even if it's too late, I need to step back and evaluate what's happening. Sebastian is kind and protective, but I'm still learning who he is. If we do this, I say, we have to take it slow. Sebastian smirked, but agreed, understanding that we needed time. We can do slow, he promises, and just like that, I feel a little lighter. I am more at peace with the direction things are going. Chapter 27. I still can't believe you like me, I say, immediately regretting the words as soon as they leave my mouth. Sebastian looks at me thoughtfully, a playful smirk tugging at his lips. Why else would I ask you to be my fiancé? You had no choice. I always have a choice. Well, you also chose Nicole. She asked me. Oh. Oh. He mimics teasingly, his tone light. I nudge him under the table, but he catches my leg, pulling it onto his lap. I'm relieved we're at home instead of some crowded restaurant, though I'm not sure that would have stopped Sebastian from doing the same. Dance with me, he murmurs, releasing my leg. There's no music. Music! Sebastian commands, and a soft melody fills the air. He pulls me into his arms just outside the dining room where we had dinner. Despite being full from his delicious lomo saltado, I still move gracefully in his hold. After a few minutes of slow swaying, Sebastian draws me closer, and I tilt my head to avoid pressing my face into his chest. He's quiet momentarily before saying, "You're clean." I'm confused. Sexually? I ask, mortified by my bluntness. He laughs, and I feel it rumble through his chest. His body is firm and warm, and I instinctively press closer, my fingers grazing his stomach. Your background, Emma. You have a clean record. You intrigued me, and you were someone without a past that could cause trouble. I can't say I wanted to be with you back then, but I liked what I saw. Oh, I exhale sharply, taking a small step back. I hesitate, unsure whether I should feel guilty about my past. He thinks my history is spotless but doesn't know about Michael. It's not that I did anything wrong, but there's still baggage, things I haven't shared with him yet. What if he asks me to visit Los Angeles for his hotel's grand opening? I can't be in the same state as Michael, not a chance. The thought makes my legs tremble, and Sebastian notices. Are you about to run away? Am I going too fast? He asks. I know I should be honest, but I nod. I can't tell him about Michael right now. Too much time has passed, and I'm stuck in my decision. Sebastian looks me in the eye. I'll slow down. But if you ever feel like running, just remember, you didn't run from me when I was the bad guy. You're braver than you think. My cheeks burn. You're still the big bad wolf. Oh, Emma, he sighs, pulling me closer. Not to you. Never to you. True to his word, Sebastian takes a step back. I almost wish I hadn't agreed when he asked if he was moving too fast. I wish I had just told him everything. But now I'm facing the consequences of that choice. It's been 2 days since that moment, and the most affection I've gotten from him is a few soft kisses. I've been losing my mind, desperately trying to turn those kisses into something more, but his restraint seems endless. And now I desperately need something to release the tension. I glance at the clock, knowing Sebastian should be home soon. I reach down between my legs, letting my fingers trace along my skin. I don't care anymore. I almost hope he catches me. I move my fingers slowly, finding a release just for myself. It's not enough. Grabbing a nearby pillow, I place it between my legs, pressing against it for that sweet friction. My body trembles, but I hear Sebastian just as I'm nearing the edge. He's greeting the night guard outside, and I know he'll be in the room soon. I quickly toss the pillow aside and scramble under the covers, acting casual when he walks in. Don't you knock? I ask, pretending to be absorbed in my phone game. It's my room. Oh, right. He winks as he heads to the bathroom. I manage to keep my cool, but when he gets into bed and his head lands on the pillow I was using, I can't help but feel the heat between us. Our eyes meet, the desire clear in his gaze, but then he closes his eyes, letting the moment pass. And all I can think of is that I don't want to go slow anymore. Chapter 28. When I woke up the following day, Sebastian was already gone. Teresa's single black rose is on the bedside table, accompanied by a note. I run my fingers over the deep black petals, marveling at their beauty. To create the color, the rose is sitting in a vase with black liquid, probably dyed water. I pull the note out carefully, reading the white text. Looking forward to seeing you tonight? I smile, even though the note isn't signed. I know it's from Sebastian. Tonight, we'll both be dressed to the nines at a Black Enterprises event. I'm excited to see him, especially after catching a glimpse of the tux he's chosen for the evening. Before I get ready, I set the rose down carefully. A few drops of black water spill onto the table, but the dye smears onto my fingers when I try to wipe them up. The dark stain looks almost ominous against my pale skin. Sebastian notices when he hears the nervous tapping of my feet against the ballroom floor. Tap, 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 tap. I can't control it. My nerves are taking over. It'll be fine, he whispers in my ear. I nod, trying to calm myself, knowing I must keep it together. We're at Il Nero, one of his newest hotels in New York, where Black Enterprises is hosting a quarterly event. Usually, I'd be anxious, but today's different. My stomach is a ball of nerves, and the pressure of meeting Illumigen's board is overwhelming. But more than that, Sebastian's vote for Black Enterprises is coming up in a week, and this is the final day to make an impression. I hope Madeline kept her word and talked to Owen on Sebastian's behalf. I spot both of them standing with the Illumigen men. Why do all these companies put men in charge? It's frustrating. When Madeline sees me, her face lights up, and I can breathe a little easier. Emma! She waddles over, her pregnancy slowing her down. So glad you're here. I laugh, wrapping my arms around her awkwardly. So you don't hate me? She rolls her eyes. How could I hate you when we've been, taking care of business? Seriously, thank you. I curtsy, causing the slit of my dress to reveal more skin, and Madeline shakes her head at the sight of Sebastian's gaze on me. I can feel the heat rush through me at his look. Madeline laughs, teasing. You two are like teenagers. I nudge her playfully. Says the woman with the thankful vagina. We both laugh when Owen walks up, looking friendlier than before. He kisses my cheek and shakes Sebastian's hand. You look great, Emma, he says. We head toward the Illumigen board, where I'm introduced to some key figures. They immediately turn their attention back to Sebastian and Owen, leaving Madeline and me standing off to the side. So, we propose cutting the research lab on transposable elements, the CEO says. It's draining resources without giving much in return. Sebastian turns to me. What do you think, Emma? I freeze for a moment, feeling all eyes on me. But when I see Sebastian's genuine curiosity, I speak up. I think it would be a mistake to stop research on TEs, I say. I explain the importance of transposable element research, noting how it could help cure diseases. I even bring up antibiotic resistance as an example of the importance of this research. The CEO considers my words and says, so we'll need to cut budgets elsewhere. I suggest an interdisciplinary approach to save resources, and the CFO jumps in. Money saved. I nod. Exactly. Madeline leans in, whispering, That was amazing! They never listen to me. I squeeze her hand, acknowledging women's struggles in these male-dominated fields. But Sebastian has always respected my opinion, which means everything to me. How did I not see this sooner? Sebastian is incredible. Sebastian is incredible. Chapter 29. It's almost time for dinner when Sebastian, Owen, Madeline, and I reach the head table. It's higher than all the others, almost like it's reserved for royalty. In this place, the board and CEO are royalty. We sit in our assigned spots, and as I settle in, I notice the seat next to Renee is empty. I hadn't seen Viola, but I figured she was somewhere, judging other women by their looks. I can't help but feel uneasy when I see Renee. He looks too eager, which never means anything good. I turn away quickly, but he speaks up. Emma, what a surprise to see you here. Is it? Sebastian asks, his tone sharp. This is a company event, and we always bring our spouses. Emma will be my wife soon. Her being here shouldn't surprise anyone. He looks at Renee. But I notice your wife isn't here. Having trouble at home, Renee? No trouble at all. Renee's grin widens, his face showing far too much excitement. She's feeling sick, but I invited another friend who's in town. Sebastian looks at him with suspicion. Anyone we know? Renee's grin gets bigger, almost painful looking. I don't think you've met him, but Emma should definitely know him. My heart drops. Someone I know? I start thinking. Sophia, Tommy, Eduardo, Minka. They all live here, but no one from my past has the money to visit New York City. Who could it be? Sebastian holds my hand under the table, but I can't tell if he's reassuring me or if I need to reassure him. I don't know anything anymore. I briefly think about Michael, but quickly push the idea away. Nobody knows about him, and I've changed my name. No way could Renee have found him. Still, that nagging feeling won't go away. I try to sound casual, asking, "What's his name?" That would spoil the surprise, wouldn't it? For the next few minutes, Renee wears that annoying grin. Even Martin, who's always in Renee's corner, looks uncomfortable. "There you are!" Renee exclaims just as I'm eating lobster bisque. I almost choke, realizing his secret guest is about to walk in. I force myself to swallow and look up, and there he is. It's Michael. I hear Renee introducing him to the other guests, but I can't focus on that. Sebastian looks at me with worry, and I can't comfort him. He doesn't know who Michael is, and I can't explain it to him now. Renee watches the scene unfold, looking like he's getting exactly what he wanted. My first instinct is to run, to get as far away from Michael as possible. But then I remember Sebastian's words. "Whenever you think about running, remember that you didn't run from me when I was the big bad wolf. You're braver than you think." Is he right? Am I brave? Right now, sitting here trembling, I don't feel brave. Sebastian leans closer, his voice soft in my ear. "What's wrong?" I can't answer him. I'm too scared, too shaken. I've tried to ignore my past, to tell myself that I'm okay, but seeing Michael again makes it clear. I'm not okay. I've never healed. I've been running ever since. Sebastian's hand tightens around mine, but I must face this. I can't let Sebastian lose everything because of me. I squeeze his knee and focus. I need to think fast. Michael stands awkwardly, eyes on me like Renee's plan is working. That's when it clicks. Renee brought Michael to hurt me, to make me run again. He's betting on my fear. But I won't give him the satisfaction. I won't run. I look Renee in the eye. "What is this?" Sebastian straightens beside me, his hand now resting on my leg. I can feel the tension, but I know I have to handle this. Renee thought I'd break, but I won't. Renee smiles wider. "Is there a problem? I thought you'd be glad to see your dad. After all, he took you in when you were an orphan. You could at least be a little grateful." Michael nods like a fool beside him, but I can't stand to look at him, so I turn away. Renee, of course, loves it. He thinks he's winning. I narrow my eyes and force my voice steady. Michael is not my father. He fostered me for 2 years before my social worker removed me from his care. The government even let me change my name. Renee goes pale. He thought I'd be weak, but instead, I've just turned the tables. I'm not that scared girl anymore. I have a future, and it's not one I'm going to let Renee ruin. I press on. "If you managed to find Michael, then you must know exactly what happened when I was 17. I hear some gasps around the table, but I ignore them. I even ignore Sebastian's clenched fist beside me. I lean in and deliver the final blow. What kind of man brings a pedophile and possible rapist to a party knowing the victim is here? The room goes silent. I've just laid it all bare. My secrets, my pain, and now it's Renee who looks like he's about to lose everything. I turn to the men around the table. "What do you think? Should someone like Renee be on the board?" Renee looks desperate now, trying to fight back. "She's lying." But his words are weak. He can't deny the truth. His career is over, but he's too proud to admit it. I don't let him off the hook. I speak again, louder now. "Michael targeted me. I was underage. That's no lie." Madeline gasps beside me, her hand reaching for mine. I don't need her comfort. I'm not looking for sympathy. I have Sebastian, and I have the strength inside me. Renee looks like he's about to implode. He's desperate to find a way out, but there's no escape. I turn to Michael, locking eyes with him. "That night, was that the only time you came into my room?" It's a question only he can answer. It's the truth I need. He hesitates, his face turning red. His eyes flick around the room, but he finally meets mine. That was the only time. Relief floods through me, but it isn't very easy. Part of me wants to believe him, but I don't know if I can. And then, just as the tension peaks, I see Sebastian move. He stands up and punches Michael across the face, sending him creeping to the floor. Chapter 30. The ballroom is completely quiet, and the stillness feels almost eerie. My eyes fall to the floor, and I see Michael lying motionless on the hardwood, his eyes closed. Oh my goodness. Sebastian knocked him out. When I look at Sebastian, he's trembling. I'm unsure if it's anger or something else, but it hits me harder than seeing Michael again. The quiet is broken by a chair scraping across the floor. Everyone turns to see René pulling himself out of his seat and heading toward me. Sebastian quickly steps in and blocks his path, but René still leans to the side, pointing a finger toward me. "You," he growls. "You ruined everything." I don't understand why he's saying that, but I know his behavior is incredibly unprofessional, especially with everyone from the company watching. But then again, so was Sebastian's. Oh no. The vote. I'm unsure if René will still have a place at Black Enterprises after tonight, but I don't know if Sebastian will either. He punched someone in front of the company board, his employees, and the Illuma Gen board. That's not something a CEO should be doing. If things had gone differently, this would be René's victory. Sebastian's violent outburst would feed into the Mafia rumors. But it didn't go the way he planned. It happened to me, and Sebastian might face the consequences. It hits me then how much he's risking. I confronted my fears and lost some dignity for him, but I know I can get that back. Sebastian, though, put everything on the line for me, his company, something he cares about deeply. You don't do that for someone you just like. You do that for someone you love. I think Sebastian loves me. Without thinking, I reach out to touch his back. He's still standing in front of me, shielding me from René, but at my touch, he leans back, pressing against my hand. The moment feels natural, like we're connected. With my hand still on his back, I step closer to him, standing side by side. I look at René and say, "I'll be getting a restraining order." I don't know if that's legally possible, but it felt right, like one final statement to René in front of everyone. Then, I take Sebastian's hand and leave, nodding a quick goodbye to the others. I can feel everyone's eyes on us as we walk out. Once we're in the hallway, Liam and Dominic show up and guide us to the car. Sebastian and I sit in silence, making our way back to the penthouse. It's only when we're alone in his room that Sebastian finally speaks. "Why isn't he in jail?" There wasn't enough evidence. It was my word against his. I asked my social worker to help me leave, and she did. "I'll take care of Michael." "Okay." I don't care anymore. I've moved past the hurt and confusion Michael caused, and I feel like I'm finally healing. But it'll be reassuring to know that Michael won't be able to hurt anyone else. Legally, I add, just to be precise. Sebastian smiles softly, pressing a gentle kiss to my forehead. We were silent for a while before I spoke. "You love me." His eyes widen, but he doesn't deny it. So I ask, "Why?" He sits on the bed and pats the space next to him. I sit down beside him. "Do you remember when I drove you home for the first time?" After I nod, he continues, "You were so scared of me, but you still demanded something in return for this arrangement. I was impressed." "And you loved me then?" I ask, unsure. He shakes his head. "No, but I couldn't help noticing your courage. You faced your fears even when they were overwhelming. I've seen brave people, but you've got something special. And when you defended me, you didn't even hesitate. You acted instinctively. That moment made me feel something deeper than I expected. I began to fall for you, your courage, your strength, your heart, everything." Before he can continue, I kiss him, my heart racing urgently. Pulling away, I whisper, "I don't want to take things slow anymore." I can't deny it. I love him. I can see it in Sebastian's eyes. Right now, I would do anything to be with him if it meant he'd hold me close and kiss me. His voice drops low. "Neil." I playfully tease him, "Okay, Mr. Gray," but I do as he asks. "Don't," he replies with a grin. "I'm not into romance novels." I laugh softly, but I know he's serious. He's not looking for sweetness right now. He's looking for something else. I wink at him, grateful for the lightness, even just for a moment, after everything that happened tonight. But you would for me. He doesn't argue. Good thing you'd never ask. For me. With a confident stride, he moves around me, and I shiver as his touch brushes against my skin. He gently pulls down the zipper of my dress, the fabric falling away. He looks at me with an appreciative glance before turning to remove his clothes, each motion slow and deliberate. The moment is intense, yet calming. When he's finished, he moves back toward me, his eyes full of admiration. I can't help but feel completely at ease with him, as if we've both found something more than just attraction. It's something real. We share a quiet, intimate moment, reflecting on how far we've come and how much we've both changed. Sebastian is right. What we have is more than just love, a timeless connection. Chapter 31. I wake up to a bright flash of light. It was gone when I opened my eyes, but it was bright enough to pull me out of my sleep. Sebastian? I ask, still feeling sleepy. What was that? It's the panic alarm, he says calmly across the room. It's a bright light that fell Seb's once, followed by 3 quick and loud rings to wake us up. I sit up quickly. When I look at him, he's already dressed and attaching 2 magnets to a keychain in the full-length mirror by the door. The mirror pops open, revealing a hidden safe in the wall. Inside are different weapons, like an assault rifle and a samurai sword. Put on something that covers your skin, he tells me. His voice sounds calm, as if he isn't preparing for a possible danger while grabbing weapons. I try to stay calm, reminding myself that if Sebastian isn't worried, I shouldn't be either. I get dressed in black socks, leggings, and a turtleneck, and by the time I'm ready, my hands aren't shaking anymore. I notice Sebastian is dressed the same way, and I appreciate that this outfit will protect us from bullets everywhere but our heads. I follow Sebastian into the armory, padding on the hardwood floor. The house is eerily silent, which makes me doubt there's a real threat. As we reach the armory, Sebastian picks up more ammo and straps it across his chest. If I'm not back in 15 minutes, call the police and ask for Detective Jameson. He's with me, he says, then quickly kisses me before I can ask anything. The armory doors close as soon as he leaves, and screens drop from the ceiling. I realize Sebastian triggered the panic room system. I focus on the screens, trying to ignore the worry rising in my chest about Sebastian's safety. I can see his security team outside the penthouse doors. About 13 of them are stationed at different spots, by the elevators, in front of the stairs, and by a strange device attached to the door. When I zoom in on the device, I freeze. Is that a bomb? The thought seems too wild to be accurate, and I almost laugh in disbelief. I quickly turn away from the screen because I don't want to panic. The rest of the rooms are empty, except the big open space downstairs. I can see men lying on the floor. They're attackers I don't recognize. The 5 guards, 2 of mine and 3 of Sebastian's, are fighting the attackers. Even though some attackers are down, we're still outnumbered. I don't see Sebastian anywhere, and that worries me. But I check the clock. Less than a minute has passed since he left, so I'll give him 15 minutes before I call the police. I keep watching from the panic room. My night guard quietly shoots 2 attackers with a silenced gun. One is hit in the neck and the other in the head. But then, one of our guards is shot in the chest. He falls and doesn't get up. Now, there are only 4 guards left. The countdown clock shows 13 minutes and 52 seconds when I finally see Sebastian sneaking down the stairs. There are 9 attackers left, and only 1 guard is still standing. The rest are lying on the floor. My heart aches for those who have fallen, but I force myself to focus on the fight. Sebastian pauses behind the stairs, hiding. Then, one of our guards is shot, and now it's just Sebastian against 9 men. The attackers split into groups of 3. One group goes down the left hall and another down the right. I watch as the last group approaches Sebastian's hiding spot. In an instant, Sebastian throws knives at 2 attackers and takes down the third with a quick move. He ties the last one's wrists and moves on, silent and efficient. Sebastian enters the left hall, where one of the 3 groups is still clearing rooms. He attaches a silencer to his gun, enters the office, and shoots 2 attackers in the back of the head before they notice him. The third attacker sees him and freezes. Sebastian makes his move, snapping the man's neck before he can even pull out his weapon. Now, only 3 attackers are left, and I can see that Sebastian is handling them efficiently. The calm and sure way he moves makes it almost beautiful but terrifying. I feel sick seeing Sebastian finish the last 3 attackers with no trouble. I jump up and run to the intercom before he heads to the door. "Don't!" I shout. He stops and looks at the camera. "What's wrong?" "There's something on the door. I think it's a bomb," I tell him. "Some guards are handling it." He nods and gestures for me to stay safe. I watch as he clears the rest of the house. I'm calm now because the cameras show no one is left alive except for him, but I still let him finish. Better safe than sorry. When Sebastian comes to the panic room, I press the button and the door opens. The screens slide back into place and the sat phone retreats into the wall. Sebastian smiles when he sees me, opens his arms, and I rush to hug him. We head downstairs, and I'm confused when he says, "The Walking Dead!" I hear humor in his voice, but I jump in shock when I see the guards getting up from the floor. My night guard stretches his arms out and walks like a zombie. He's not winning any awards for his acting. I laugh and whisper, "What the heck?" Sebastian's guard hears me and grins. "Bulletproof clothes," he says. Now I understand. The guards pretended to be dead while Sebastian stayed hidden, waiting for the right moment to act. I'm impressed by Sebastian's clever plan. But I tease him. "The Walking Dead? Really?" He shrugs with a smirk. I thought it was funny. Then, the zip-tied attacker blinks and sits up. When he sees us, he tries to run. I trip him with my leg, a simple move, but it works. He falls onto the floor, and one of the guards steps on his back to stop him. "Nice," Sebastian says with a grin. I roll my eyes, but I'm smiling too. This situation is so strange. I just tripped a guy who was trying to kill us. After the guards tie him up again, Sebastian asks him questions. The man details his employer, describing someone who matches Renee's company photo. Then he talks about how they got in, mentioning a lady who helped them with a key. When Sebastian is finished, he kills the man quickly and tells the guards to make it look like he died in the fight. I watch in shock as they arrange his body to make it look like he is part of the battle. The sight is so gruesome that I rush to the bathroom and throw up. Sebastian doesn't follow, thankfully. Chapter 32. "Did you really have to kill him?" I ask Sebastian, crossing my arms and narrowing my eyes. We stand in the office, way too close to the 3 bodies Sebastian just took care of. "Yes." He gives me an explanation when he sees my disgust. "He knew about the bulletproof clothes. He had to go. It's us or he. Him." I finish for him. Sebastian's right. I can't argue with that. I've seen how functional those clothes are and how they can trick our enemies, but if the secret gets out, people will know how to counter it. They'd aim for headshots and make sure anyone down stays down. It's us or them, and I'll always choose us. That's how the world works. "So, was it Renee?" I ask, even though I already know the answer. I need him to confirm it. Sebastian nods and pulls out his phone. I glance at it and see an email from Owen. Subject: Emergency Board Meeting. "Dear Mr. Black, I'm writing to inform you that the board has called an emergency meeting due to Mr. Toussaint's actions tonight. After a unanimous vote, the board has decided to remove Mr. Toussaint from his position at Black Enterprises immediately. He will not receive any pension or severance pay due to his actions against your fiancé. Additionally, we've decided to cancel the vote regarding your CEO position at Black Enterprises. We believe you've already endured enough at the hands of Mr. Toussaint, and his attacks on your leadership are nothing but a personal vendetta." Mr. Toussaint received a similar email and was informed about the cancellation of the upcoming vote. We suspect he won't take this news lightly, so please ensure your security team is prepared. We will also update the company's security team. Thank you for your time. Please feel free to contact me with any questions or concerns. Best, Owen Carter, COO. When I finish reading, I say, "It's revenge." Sebastian nods. "Looks that way." "And Maria?" I ask, remembering the comment about a woman letting the attackers in. From what I know, she's the only woman with access to the penthouse. "She'll be dealt with." How involved do you think she is? She let them in and probably helped Renee get access to the security system. I remember the warning she gave Sebastian about the polo match. And the polo match? Sebastian winces. She probably thought I wouldn't change my flight to Dubai. But you did, and she wasn't happy about it. He nods. I don't get it, though. I thought she liked me. I had no idea she wanted me dead. I feel a bit uneasy. Maybe you weren't the target for tonight? I was the target during the last 2 shootings, after all. I glance at the dead bodies, guilt hitting me. It's their fault for choosing this life, but it's also my fault they're dead. All this death for me. It doesn't seem right. I know what you're thinking, Sebastian says, looking at me. Of course you do. This isn't your fault. Not entirely. It's also Renee's. And mine. I nod. He's right, but that doesn't make me love him less. So, what now? What do we do about all of this? I gesture toward the bodies. There are over 24 of them. I've called Vince. No. What? No. You'll call the cops. I can't. If I call the cops, I'll have to do things their way. Exactly. Do it by the book. You've got enough proof. Do I? He looks at Renee's men. They're dead. They can't testify against Renee now. He's right, but I'm sure something links them to him. If that guy met Renee in person, then there's got to be something to connect them. Footage of the meeting? Wire transfers? Are you willing to risk everything for that? I'm okay with Renee walking free if Sebastian keeps his company. I've seen how much he loves Black Enterprises, and I can't stand by while he risks everything there. This isn't like punching Michael in front of the whole company. This could end with Renee dead. If Sebastian goes that far, there's no turning back. I can't let that happen. Yes, I am. Well, I'm not. Think it through, Sebastian. I step toward him, wrapping my arms around his waist and looking up at his face. If you do this, there's no going back. Renee isn't just some underworld guy. He was on your company's board, and they just canceled the meeting to vote on whether or not you're a risk. You're done at Black Enterprises if you go through with this. I don't care. There's a stubborn look on his face. I have to do this, Emma. Why? Because they went after you. My heart softens, realizing once again how much he's willing to risk for me. But I can't let him. They went after you too, so I get a say in this. And I don't want him dead. I want him in jail, rotting. I take his hand, gently opening his fist and linking our fingers. Please, do this for me, Sebastian. There's a long silence before he nods, and I let out a sigh of relief, leaning against him. He catches me and smirks. Was that our first couple's fight? I roll my eyes and smack him lightly on the arm. Then, I head to the kitchen with Sebastian following me. When we arrived, more of his security team stood around the kitchen island. Liam is even there, so I assume the bomb has been disarmed. The rest of the team is setting up a perimeter around the building, Liam tells Sebastian. I glance at the countertops. A few tequila bottles and at least a dozen shot glasses are scattered on the marble. Liam pours me a shot and hands it to me. I take it. What are we drinking to? The fact that we still can. I drink the shot in one go. Chapter 33. I can't help but chuckle when the police show up and their eyes nearly pop out at the sight of all the bodies lying around the building. It turns out that Sebastian's guards took out 15 of Renee's men in the garage, adding the 14 I saw die on the security cameras, the 13 who were already dead, and the guard with a slit throat. That's a total of 43 bodies. Renee didn't just hire a few people, he hired a small army. And they failed. I discovered that Liam and the 12 men with him could reach us so quickly because they lived on the floor below ours, a detail I wasn't aware of before. They didn't tell the cops that, though. They didn't mention their bulletproof clothes either. Instead, Sebastian and the security team put on bulky bulletproof vests before the cops arrived. They then pretended that the attackers only hit their vests. They even had all the bullets collected in a Ziploc bag before the police showed up. So, none of the cameras picked anything up? A female detective asks Sebastian, clearly skeptical. He sighs, annoyed. They wiped them and shut them off before I finished them all. Okay, she says, but she doesn't believe him. And all these weapons? They're legally owned. I've got licenses if you'd like to see them. You can send them over via email. Sebastian nods, arms crossed. He's already had enough of this conversation, and I don't blame him. I would feel the same if I were in his shoes. When the officers first arrived, they took one look at the mess on the floor, which Liam had pointed out was mine, and they stepped back from me. Because the panic room is a need-to-know thing, I told them I hid under the bed and didn't see anything until Sebastian called me when it was all over. After eyeing the mess again, they didn't ask any more questions. Liam thought it was funny, of course. The cop finally signals for Sebastian to leave, and he sits beside me on the couch, where I've been eavesdropping without much care. I rest my head on his shoulder and breathe in his familiar scent. What do we do now? I'm taking you to Vince's. I sit up straight. Number absolutely not. Why not? He can keep you safe. While you do what? The cops went to Renee's place to bring him in for questioning, but he's gone. Viola's there with the kids. I'm going after him. And when you find him? I'll hand him over to the police. He says it like a statement, but I can hear the question. You will? I ask, unsure. Yes, he says with more confidence. I'm going after him. It's not up for debate. You won't be safe until he's either in jail or dead. His eyes darken with a dangerous gleam. I'd prefer him dead, but I know you don't want that. I can live with that, but I won't back down on this. I'm going after him. Fine, but I'm not going to Vince's. Why not? His place is the safest for you. You can't stay here. It's a crime scene. Liam will go with you. I'm not going to the Romano family, Sebastian. Vince isn't just a Romano. He's my family too. I know that. I have nothing against him, but it's still a Romano. Going to one after something like this won't look good for the board. Forget the board, Emma. I care about you. But you care about your company too. Not as much as I love you. I can't get enough of hearing those 3 words, and because I feel the same way, I know precisely what Sebastian feels. Sebastian, are you scared? I ask, surprised. No, I'm just concerned. I sigh because that's as close to an admission as possible. I'll be safe with Liam wherever we go. It doesn't have to be Vince's. Renee is too busy running to come after me again. You don't know that? Then I'll hide until you find him, but I won't do it at Vince's. I won't risk your future at Black Enterprises. Where would you go? Vaserly. He scoffs. That's too obvious. You've lived there before. There are no records of that, thanks to you, and only the people in my hall know I lived there. I'll sneak in and they won't even know I'm there. And you'll stay in the dorm, even with the chance that Renee might have asked your hallmates about you? I think about it. If he was asking around, Sophia would have told me. Half of the girls in the hall are on Team Sophia. She has spies everywhere. It's still risky. It's my risk. No, it's not. Not when I love you. I smile at his words, but still say what needs to be said. Fine, but going after Renee isn't your risk because, I say quickly, I love you too. What? I groan, then say it louder. I love you. This isn't how I thought I'd say it for the first time, and judging by Sebastian's shocked expression, he didn't expect it either. You love me? I nod, and he closes the space between us, kissing me hard. When he pulls back, he demands, Say it again. I love you, I say, stronger this time. He rests his forehead against mine and stares into my eyes. All right, you can stay at Vaserly, but I'll have 3 guards on you at all times. A security team will monitor footage from Vince's, and there will always be a breach and extraction team close by. Liam, your night guard, and Bastian will be your guards. But, non-negotiable. I compromised, so you will too. I sigh but say, You're really hot when you talk to me like that. Sebastian laughs, and despite the seriousness of the situation, my heart skips a beat and my soul feels warm. We get into several cars, each taking a different route when leaving the garage. If Renee is tracking us, he won't know where we're headed. One car goes to Jersey, another upstate, and the rest go to random motels and businesses. Our car stops at a red light, and Sebastian opens the door for me. We're surrounded by big trucks so that no one can see us. One of them is a massive moving truck. I'm led into the back, with Liam, my night guard, and Sebastian following close behind. The truck's back is dark, but I can see the shape of some boxes. I tap one to test its sturdiness, then sit on it. Someone turns on a light, and the truck's back is dimly lit. Sebastian gives me an amused look. You did well on your first bait and switch? Second, I correct. The whole Caroline and Luca thing was a bait and switch too. Sebastian nods. You did great there too. I grin, recalling Sebastian's comment a few months ago. I've been told I'm half Mafia spy, half corporate spy. You forgot Honeypot. That too. Well, aren't you two adorable? A deep voice says. I scream, nearly falling off the box when a man emerges from the shadows. Sebastian steadies me, and I lean on him when the car jerks forward. His body stays still, not even swaying. Don't worry, Sebastian murmurs. He's with us. The man introduces himself. I'm Nicolaio, but call me Nick. I study him. He has tan skin, dark hair, and brown eyes. He's wearing all black and looks dangerous in a way that reminds me of Sebastian, except I don't trust him. I press closer to Sebastian and say cautiously, I'm Emma. I know, he replies with a quick smile. Emma Ives. That throws me off. How do you know my last name? He laughs, and Sebastian squeezes me to him. This is Nicolaio Andretti. Andretti? I ask, stunned. Yeah, I spared his life when I took his uncle's. Sebastian explains casually. We're friends. Nick scowls. We won't be if you keep sharing my secrets. Sebastian rolls his eyes. Don't be dramatic, Nick. Emma's one of mine. Nick nods, and I feel relieved that Sebastian has backup. Even though I don't know or trust Nick, Sebastian does, and I trust Sebastian with my life. The car screeches to a halt, and Nick gestures to the box I'm sitting on. Get in. Chapter 34. Wait, what? I cross my arms, glaring at Nick. You want me to get inside that box? He doesn't answer. He pulls some clothes out of a gym bag and hands them to Sebastian and the guards. They all start changing, and I can't even focus on Sebastian's bare chest because I've just been asked to climb into a cardboard box by an Andretti. When they finish getting dressed, they wear work uniforms, jeans, t-shirts, baseball caps, and big boots. The hats say Donato's Moving Company, and the shirts have the company logo on the front. The guys will blend in as movers if they keep their heads down. I get what's going on now. They will pretend to be movers. I'm the cargo they're moving. Fine, I say, removing the box and lifting the lid. The box may look like cardboard from the outside, but the inside is padded with soft leather. Sebastian pauses and presses a button, making wheels pop out from the bottom. A handle rises too, to help move me around more easily. The setup seems fancy, as if they've done this before. Sebastian helps me into the tall box. I sit down, adjusting myself until I'm comfortable. I glare when Sebastian leans in to kiss me, but let him anyway. He smirked as he closed the lid on me. I grab the edges of the box to steady myself as it's rolled down a ramp. It's only dark for a minute before the lid opens, and I find myself standing in a stylish brownstone. Where are we? I ask Nick, watching Sebastian and the guards return to grab more empty boxes. You'll find out soon enough, he replies. I roll my eyes, but don't ask again. The drive wasn't long, so we were close to Sebastian's place. Based on how fancy this place is, we're in one of those expensive brownstones near Central Park. When Sebastian comes back, he hands me my bag. I packed light with just the essentials, a phone charger, toiletries, and 2 changes of clothes. On the other hand, Sebastian packed his with loads of weapons, ammo, and all-black clothing. He only packed 2 changes of clothes too, which makes me think this won't take long. We're led into a room full of computers and screens. Until nightfall, I watch as Sebastian, Nick, and the guards go through Renee's life, uncovering everything from a controversial article he wrote in high school to a mistress he paid off years ago. She took a big chunk of his money and still gets a substantial monthly payment. This might explain why Renee wanted to take over Black Enterprises. There's even an email from Renee's private server linking him to my invite to the Wilton event. I can't look away as they uncover all of Renee's secrets, feeling disturbed by the thought that Renee must have done something similar to me. Sebastian says it's time to leave for Vassarly when the moon is high. Instead of returning to the moving truck, we enter a town car parked in the garage. When Nick pulls the curtains over the tinted windows, I realize he doesn't want anyone to know where we're going. It's like being moved into a box again, except Sebastian's with me this time. After about half an hour, we pulled up to Vassarly, which didn't make sense since Sebastian's place was so close, and the drive to Nick's place only took 10 minutes. The driver took a longer route to confuse anyone following us. Either way, I'm extra cautious about Nick's secretive actions, though they seem similar to Sebastian's precautions. When we leave the car, we're only in the private parking lot for Vassarly staff. It's mostly empty since it's the weekend, and only a few people stay overnight, like the RAs and PCs. There's a door to the staff area, but a young campus security guard guards it. He looks like he's in his mid-20s. I'm surprised when Sebastian approaches him and they bump fists. "Seb, long time no see," the guy says with a smile. "Hey, Mark." Sebastian gestures to me. "This is my fiancée, Emma." He turns to me. "Emma, this is Mark. We used to train together at the UFC gym." Mark adds, "That was before Princess Sebastian found Prince Charming and went all Ivy League." Sebastian rolls his eyes. "He's just mad he's never beaten me in a fight." Yeah. Mark becomes serious, looking at Nick and the guards before returning to Sebastian. "I let Bastian in a few minutes ago. Everything good?" "Yeah, Emma's staying here for a few days with these guys and Bastian." He motions to the guards. "We've got surveillance on Vassarly, but I'd like you to keep an eye out, too." "Of course. Same number?" Sebastian nods, and Mark opens the door, letting us into the back entrance. Vassarly is practically empty as we head to my old hall. We keep quiet, not wanting to wake anyone up. One of Sebastian's guards messaged Sophia ahead of time, telling her to stay somewhere else so we wouldn't disturb her. Using my old key, I open the door to my former dorm room and turn on the light. I roll my eyes when I see Sophia's stuff on my old bed. "Was this room ransacked?" Sebastian asks, raising an eyebrow. I'm not sure if he's joking, so I answer anyway. 100% Sophia? Right. Before I can respond, there's a knock at the door. Sebastian opens it slightly, gun ready in hand, but then lowers it and opens the door fully. I see Bastian first and relax, but I tense up when Minka steps into view. "What do you want?" I ask. Bastian answers for her. "She's offering you her room. Seems legit." Minka rolls her eyes at my suspicion. "I owe you for saving me from the spiked drink. After this, we're even." "I checked her electronics and did a full sweep of her room. Everything's clear," Bastian says, ignoring our conversation. "It's a better option than your old room." Sebastian looks at me, raising an eyebrow. I sigh and nod because of Bastian's right. It's smarter to stay in Minka's room than my old one. "We'll take it," Sebastian says. Minka crosses her arms. "Just so you know, I still don't like you, but I respect what you did for me." I don't answer. Honestly, I don't care. I want this whole thing to be over so Sebastian can return safely. Chapter 35. 3 days. That's how much time has passed since Sebastian left. Over these 3 days, I've spent most of my time pacing, tossing, and turning, barely managing to sleep. Bastian will finally leave me here if another day passes without hearing from him. I'm sure I'm pushing his patience to the limit. I wore Minka's patience thin only an hour after arriving. She and Nella, who share a dorm room with her, decided to sleep in one of Minka's friends' rooms. My night guard followed them, waiting for Sebastian's men to take over. We don't trust Minka and Nella to keep quiet, so they must be watched closely. Then a knock on the door breaks the silence. I jump up from the desk chair and head straight for the door, only to be cut off by Liam. Bastian opens it instead, and for a moment all I hear is silence. Then I see Sebastian walk in. A small cut is visible on his forehead and his lip is busted, but other than that, he looks fine. Without caring who sees, I rush to him, wrapping my arms around him, making him stumble slightly into the crowded hallway. He carries us back into the room, and when he winces, I immediately pull away, but he pulls me right back to him. I slide my fingers under his shirt, gently pressing on his abdomen. I stop when he winces in pain. What happened? I ask. Probably a broken rib. You need to see a doctor. He smiles at me, the kind that says, "Aren't you cute?" And it irritates me. No need, it'll heal on its own. I decided not to argue. I know it won't work, so I focus on what matters. What happened? I ask again, referring to what happened while he was gone. Nick and I were ambushed by Renee's men. How many? 19, at a warehouse in Jersey. 19. After what happened at the penthouse, Sebastian could handle 19 men, with or without Nick's help. Sebastian is fine, after all, he's standing right before me. So, what about Nick? I ask. He's fine. He left town to lay low for a while. I don't press the issue. As long as he's okay, that's all that matters. And Renee? We found him at a motel about a mile from the warehouse. What did you do with him? He gives me a sharp look at my tone. We didn't kill him, Emma. Then what did you do? We called the cops. And they arrested him? With what evidence? Sebastian gives me a smirk. He didn't have any evidence, but we might have planted some for the police to find when they searched the room. Sebastian, that's illegal. So? It's only illegal if the cops find out, and they won't. I should be worried, but I'm not. I'm just relieved he's back and that this is over. What about Maria? She's fired. We're also working on a criminal case against her for breaking the NDA. We've got her on security footage entering the building just before the attack. That's already been handed over to the cops. She should be in jail soon if she isn't already. But you don't know for sure. It's only a matter of time. Oh. Emma? Yes? His eyes darken. The black rose. I feel my mind racing, trying to make sense of it. What about it? Renee sent it to you. We were able to track the purchase. My eyes widen. I thought you gave it to me. Sebastian gently places his finger under my chin, tilting my face to meet his eyes. For the record, if I send you roses, it'll be a whole bouquet. I smile and move in to kiss him. When I pull away, I ask, So, what now? Whatever you want, Emma. After all this, I want a typical day with Sebastian, which means attending my only class today. I'm taking another course with Dr. Roland this semester, focusing on using physics and biology. Thanks to the threats, I couldn't attend it in person, but now I'm excited. We're going to be late, I mutter. Sebastian raises an eyebrow, almost as if to say, So what? Splash zone, I say with a frown. I laugh when he picks up his pace, but it fades quickly when I spot Maria standing outside Vasarilli as we leave. She's dressed in a designer outfit and has perfectly styled hair, reminding me of the overly seasoned food I used to eat during my travels, disguising the bad stuff underneath. When she spots me, her face twists in anger. You! I step forward as Liam and my night guard grab her arms. What about me? You're the one who tried to kill Sebastian. I'd never hurt Sebastian. It was supposed to be you. I laugh at her naivety. That's how he got you to go along with this? He promised to take out your competition? I can see I'm right when she freezes in her struggle against Liam's grip. She opens her mouth to say something, but it doesn't matter. I'm already walking past her with Sebastian by my side. Liam stays behind to wait for the police, but I don't. I keep moving forward. I move on. As Sebastian and I enter the lecture hall, the only empty seats are in the spleen zone. We sit down anyway. I chuckle when a drop of Dr. Roland's spit lands on Sebastian's cheek, and he rolls his eyes at me. As he pulls a handkerchief from his suit pocket to wipe it off, I take the opportunity to admire him. Sebastian's a killer, a genius, loyal. He's my perfect. He's the kind of guy a girl would sit in the spleen zone for. And most importantly, he's mine. Loyal. He's my perfect. He's the kind of guy a girl would sit in the spleen zone for. And most importantly, he's mine.